I'm a little bit late. I had to do something. I was a little busy. So I'm sorry. Welcome to Twisted Tragedies, where we follow all the twists and turns wherever they lead. I am your fearless leader, Elise, and we got stuff. Tonight we're gonna do. I don't have anything new. So for all the naysayers of a certain person's channel, who are like, oh my god, you're switching topics all of a sudden. No, I've had other topics. We've done Sandra Birchmore, and we'll still talk about Karen Reed later on. So we're going to do that. Okay. So, but there was a new affidavit that nobody's really talking about in the Long Island serial killer, Gilgo Beach murders. So that. And also I had planned to do Sandra Birchmore with a guest, but the guest needed to reschedule till Wednesday because she's sick. So that'll be Wednesday instead. But welcome. So there's just a few, hold on. There's a few things here. So, numero uno. Okay. Let's just make something clear. I know Kelly, but she was sick. She announced it on her page. She's got a vicious migraine, and I've had those. I know exactly what they're like. But we're going to do it Wednesday instead. So, yeah, I know. But Wednesday instead. It's fine. We'll still do it. But anyway, I want to make something very clear here. And I'm going to say it once, and I'm not going to friggin' say it again. Because I shouldn't have to say it again. See, that's the thing. I really shouldn't have to say it once. Never mind again. Sorry, this eyelash is bothering me. Also, by the way, these eyelashes are not glue. They're magnetic. So if you have, eyes that are sensitive to glue, you should do that instead of, they're called glamnetic. You should do those instead of the glue. I don't fucks with the glue. So anyway, since people are so concerned with my eyelashes. Awesome. Yeah, so it'll be Wednesday instead of tonight. But I just want to make something very, very clear, okay? When you decide to make a statement about Gorilla Glue is bad, about someone's sick child, like mine, you have went too far. Anyone with a brain who has known me for more than 5 seconds knows that my kid has a very terminal illness, a rare disease that less than 177 people on planet Earth have, called STAT3 gain of function. If you feel the need to attack someone, maybe don't attack their sick fucking kid. I think that's a little too far. And also, maybe be honest about why you're doing it to begin with. So there's that. I'm not going to address this again because I don't deal in tantrums, right? I'm a grown adult who can have grown adult conversations, right? I am 15 years sober, and shocker, I've been very open about that. Very, very open about that. There's not something that I've not been open about. OMG. Also, the last job that I worked was in a prison, which I had to pass 2 background checks for in Bridgewater. So there's that. So maybe, just maybe, see, that's a funny thing. I didn't do anything at the Halloween party. So that's another misleading statement. But again, I'm not going to keep addressing falsehood and lies. I'm not going to do it. I will not do it. It's literally taking away from other things that don't this is a silly tantrum, and I'm not going to feed into silly tantrums. I'm just not going to do it. That's not an option. Okay? Not an option at all. You're also not going to attack somebody's sick child. That is a fucking no-no. And if you feel the need to do that, then you are a low, very, very low human being. There's something seriously wrong with you. Okay? I had a great time at the Halloween party. Everyone else I was with had a great time at the Halloween party. There was nothing that happened at the Halloween party that was not good. like, come on, dude. Let's get real here. Ask yourself why. Why? Just why? Maybe don't listen to everything you hear. right? And maybe if someone won't tell you something, there's a reason why they won't tell the whole story. That's the last I'm going to address of that, because that's ridiculous and utterly disgusting. So, anything further that we're going to do here, if you have negativity, if you're going to bring up stupid shit, let yourself out the door now, because I have shit that I worked on today that I am going to talk about in my live stream, my live stream. So, no, Sabrina, no, I cannot, because I don't believe in using other people as collateral damage. So no, I can't, because then that would make other people collateral damage who don't need that, who don't deserve it either. So no, I'm not going to. So if you feel the need to continue on, the door's over there. Let yourself out. Okay? Come on. My boyfriend, Brent. Boyfriend's never been in trouble a day in his life. So again, maybe, once again, should probably not believe everything you hear. Fully employed, never been in trouble a day in his life. Not ever. Not once, not ever. He's a fucking citizen. So again, maybe, just maybe, don't believe every single tiny thing you hear. Like, I didn't mock a murder trial. I don't know what you're talking about either. Spitting on the family? Who spit on a family? Who did that? What are you talking about? I think you got it twisted. You're somewhere else, honey. Like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Like, oh, I can't. I literally can't. So, yeah, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I will not. I will not. Not gonna. Sorry, not sorry. I will not use other people as collateral damage. It's not okay. It'll never be okay. That's the last time I'm going to address it. That's the bottom line. We're going to move on to what I came here to do. Okay? Yeah, they do. I love you too, Sabrina. I love you too. Somebody who actually knows me in real life. Shock! My God, shock that. Huh? Jesus Christ. Okay, so we're going to move on now. Great, because I have affidavits that we need to go over. So, anybody familiar with the Gilgo Beach serial killer? I'm sure you all are. The Rex, I think it's Hewerman, okay? Don't kill me if I butcher his name, okay? It's Hewerman, but I may butcher it a little. But anyway, there was 2-page affidavit that came out about this fool. Now, this guy is a serial killer from 1996 to 2011, and he killed, they think, between 10 and 11 people. I'm saying 11 now. Who knows? It could be way more, and we just don't know, of course. But, let's see. Yeah, it was 10 or 11 victims, they said. Well, let's get these affidavits up here for a second. Again, you can hear criticism of GoFundMes, right? But newsflash, I've been the working poor my entire life. So when you have your face punched in by domestic violence, maybe you might need some help with dental work like I did. And also when you have a fire in 2020 during a pandemic, maybe you will also need help. I don't think asking for help makes anybody a scammer. And I think that's utterly ridiculous. And that's the reason people don't ask for help. Just saying. Also, the reason why I've been helping people as a volunteer advocate for as long as I have, because people make people feel like they can't, ask for help. Like it's shameful or something. Nope. No, not a thing. Absolutely not. I'm sorry to hear that, Lindsay. All right, let me get these affidavits up. Why are you here? Is there, are you here for a reason? Oh, it was mentioned. it was mentioned. That if you're going to be in here for negativity, leave yourself out the door, please. I don't do it on your channels. I don't expect you to come to mine and do it. You guys have no idea. No idea what you're talking about. You have no idea what happened. You're just assuming and like you have no clue. None whatsoever. I'm getting these affidavits up here. Because the comments will disappear when the person gets sent out the door. That's why. I won't put up with it tonight. I'm not going to put up with it tonight. That's what you came here for. You came to the wrong place. No, I didn't time out the young jerks. I'm trying to get this affidavit up. I'm completely doing something else. What disgusting... What? Kimberly Lynn, please see yourself out the door. Who's mocking anyone? I think you have something wrong with your head. You think anyone was mocking anyone. Like, what? Hi, Rose. Yeah, I know she did because she doesn't want to be harassed. Do you blame her at this point? Can you blame her at this point? I can't. I sure fucking can't. That's for sure. What the hell, dude? God damn it. It's fucking affidavits. All right. Now, they redacted some stuff, so it's kind of fucking obnoxious. Drives me absolutely nuts when they do that, because obviously you want to know what the redacted information is. Like, come on now. Like, ridiculousness. Utter ridiculousness. All right. So I know it's not going to be hard for you. I mean, it's going to be hard for you guys to see, so I'm going to read it. Why don't you ask him that, Matt? Again, if you guys are going to come in here and think it's going to be about drama, you have another thing coming. You can see yourself up. All right, let's go over the affidavit. It's annoying because they redacted shit, and that's annoying. I don't care who's a fake account and who isn't. I'm not paying attention to it. I'm trying to figure out this affidavit here. Okay. So basically, they redact like the person's name, the person's age, like, you know, where they live specifically. You know. Okay, Roger. Here's the thing, right? I'm not going to do this. You can let yourself out. I've been very transparent about the fact that I was an addict a very long time ago. Also, by the way, my record has everything on it that's been dismissed and also sealed. So that would be also defamation. So. All right, here we go. Yeah, so basically they redact, like, you know, the crappy crap. Like, this, you know, the stuff so people can't, like, you know, they can't, you can't tell where they live. So people can't, like, you know, go to their house and or harass them and whatever. So they redact that stuff. And it says, hi, once lived in Suffolk County, New York. I'm giving this affidavit of my own free will. I am not under duress, nor coercion, nor the undue influence of anyone. I contacted John Ray Esquire by telephone on September 15th, 2023. I did so because I'm aware that John Ray has been representing the family of Shannon Gilbert. I trust him. I had seen him on TV. I am aware that John K. has drafted the words in this affidavit. He has done so with my consent and at my direction after extensive conversation I had with John Ray regarding that which is contained in this affidavit. The words herein accurately reflect my knowledge and information. I adopt the words in this affidavit as my own words. So this is where they go into like, you know, what the person is going to say is happening. Like, so you guys have to remember, I have two screens. So I mean, I don't have two screens. So I can't see what some of you guys are saying right now because I'm trying to read you this affidavit. So if you're trying to tell me something or talk right now, I can't see it. Trying to get this stupid affidavit. All right. So this person says, and I'm assuming they're using this person as like a CI or something in this case. It says in or about October 2009. I was a taxi driver in Suffolk County, New York. I was employed as a taxi driver by Colonial and other companies at that time. I believe my employer was located in Sayreville, New York. My employer's dispatcher directed me at that time to drive to a little road off of Ocean Ave in, oh my God, I am going to butcher the hell out of that. Ronkonkoma? I can't even see it. Ronkonkoma? Okay, I don't fucking know. All right. I can't. Concoma? I can't. It's like, I don't know if that's an N or an M. I don't know. To pick up a customer. This place was a bar not far from exit 59 of the Long Island Expressway. I was to have picked up a person named Matt. Okay. When I arrived at the bar, I observed an extraordinarily large man wearing an army-like fatigue jacket, crouching down on a very small street next to the bar. Wait, what? Yeah, small street next to the bar where I had pulled up. It's interesting choice of words. He rose so that I observed his immense size. He approached my cab. He appeared to be wearing jeans and a white t-shirt. His hair was more or less light colored, but not blonde. He was a white man. I had been told by my dispatcher the place of destination for this customer, but I no longer can recall that location. This large man approached my taxi to enter it. His words to me seemed arrogant. He entered into the rear of my taxi. He sat in the rear seat, on the edge of the seat, and in the middle of it. He said to me words to the effect that we're going for a long ride in the woods. Okay. And indicated that we had to pick up a girl who was in a house across the street from the bar. My taxi was stopped very close to that house on a very narrow side street. I could see a white girl in the window in that house. I believe the window in the house is where I saw the girl was open. Told the large man I could not take him on the trip that he had indicated, that I had to clear it with my dispatcher. He argued with me. He said words to the effect, "Are you being a smartass?" As we argued, he said to me that he wanted to kill me if I would just give him a reason to do so. He insisted he wanted to kill me. I heard him click a gun. While this occurred, I could hear my dispatcher yelling words to the effect that, "You've got a gun on my driver. I see you. I got to call into someone." I said words to the effect that, "I don't even know you." The large man had a sort of identification chain hanging on him, but I could not see the full ID. I asked him if he was a cop. He said he was a cop. When I asked him where he was a cop, he replied, "Brooklyn." I told the large man to just get out of my car and I would not press charges. Then a man who I subsequently took to be the girl's boyfriend, as told me later on by the dispatcher, pulled into the house's driveway. I turned off the car. I said that I was not moving. That I was not moving from the spot. I told him that he would have the keys and take the car, that he could have my money. I asked him, would he speak to his mother that way? He replied with intense anger that my mother is dead. My dispatcher said to him to just walk away. The large man stepped out of the car. He leaned in the front passenger window. The dispatcher told me that the large man asked the boyfriend and girl for a ride, to which one of them replied words to the effect of, "No, the cops are on their way." The large man went into a nearby wooded area and shot his gun off 2 times, according to the dispatcher. I had already started the car and I already drive down the street when the large man did whatever the dispatcher told me that he did. So this is weird because it's like a cab driver, right? It's weird. Like I don't, I guess, you know, I guess this is like, I mean, it's weird. It's weird, right? Like, it's weird. There's a lot of like weird. I mean, this is the affidavit, right? Like it is a crazy update to this case. It literally is. Like, I don't know. There is just like, what? Like, what? Like, it's kind of weird. Like, what? I'm not understanding here where, like, all right, we'll get to it, I guess, but it's like, it's very strange. Like, it's it's strange. All right. But this is an update to it. So, all right. It says, as I drove down the street, a Suffolk County police officer in a white and blue police car approached from the other direction with no headlights nor any siren. The officer had dark hair, appeared to be in his 30s in age. I told the police officers the large man had pulled a gun. The officer told me he was responding to a call that the dispatcher had called in and a girl had also called in. I said to him words to the effect that he's one of yours. He has a bad night. He pulled a gun. The officer's vehicle then creeped down the street past my car. I drove away to other calls. I told my family members about this incident, including my nephew, who was a police officer, and I told my sister of the event described above. I also told other drivers of the event. Recently, I saw Rex Hewerman on TV. He was the large man I encountered in the incident described above, and he was the large man I saw in the incident I described below. I was afraid of him. I now know him to be known as Rex Hewerman. In another incident, which preceded the one above by at least several weeks, my dispatcher sent me to pick up a passenger at Salem Motor Lodge on the Sunrise Highway. I was told by my dispatcher that the prospective passenger had asked for a female driver, that she had locked herself in a bathroom in a room at the motel. I drove in behind the motel. I saw a dark, apparently greenish gray SUV on a side street near to the motel. I drove into the parking lot to the left. I looked for the correct room number. When I located it, I blew my car's horn and flashed my lights at the room. I did these things on and off for 7 to 8 minutes. No one had come out of the room. Then a very large man came out. He appeared to have a bit of belly. He ran to the side street. He tried to block his face with his arms. Then a girl ran out. She was petite. She was crying and shaking. She entered my taxi in the rear right seat. She said that we had to get away from there. I noticed one of her eyes had something defective about it that appeared to droop. Her hair was pulled back neatly like a ballerina would have done. She wore jeans and a shirt. She was not dressed provocatively. She said that she was glad that she had gotten me as a driver. The girl told me she met the large man on Craigslist. Oh boy. He befriended her, she said. She said that he said to her that he would take care of her mom, her sisters, and her boyfriend. She said that he placed a thick white envelope on the nightstand in the room. She said that he told her, whatever happens tonight, this envelope was for her and her family. But she said she saw a rage in his face. She said that when he went to the bathroom, she looked into the envelope. She said the envelope was filled with cut up paper. She said that he shook her and that he was aggravated. She said that he got aggressive, so she ran into the bathroom and locked herself in there. She said he banged on the door. The girl never told me her name. I believe the incident took place when I was still a little warm outside. The girl wore a little light jacket, a dark color. She had a pocketbook, which was not large. She said they were always calling her to come out to Long Island. She said she did not want to come out to Long Island. She told me about her family, including her sisters and her mother. She said that as to her mother, I would not be able to understand her situation with her mother. Much of our conversation took place at the Sayreville Motor Lodge or at the Ronkonkoma train station. She had a long wait in order to take the 2 a.m. train to New York City. She had a distinctive voice. She was articulate. She paid for the ride and tipped me $5. She then sat with another taxi driver in his car waiting for the train because I had to pick up other customers. I saw her on TV where she was identified as Shannon Gilbert. I am certain that the girl was Shannon Gilbert. I recognized her unusual eye droop in her voice. Her story she told me of her family matched the family of Shannon Gilbert. Rex Hewerman appeared to me to be the very big man I saw coming from the motel room I mentioned in my affidavit. I recognized Shannon Gilbert. I told my dispatcher of this incident. I also told the female manager at the Salem Motor Lodge of the incident. The manager appeared to be native of India. I told other taxi drivers of this incident. The dispatcher had the telephone number of the large man. I called the police tip line when Rex Hewerman was arrested. I spoke with a young woman and told her the basic facts, which I knew. I spoke twice with the tip line that day. I have never received a return call. Never received a return call. What? What? Like, never. That doesn't make any sense. Like, they never received a return call. Like, I don't understand. Like, that's okay, girl. Yes, of course. Of course, of course, of course. Of course. Yeah, I guess, he stalked this cab driver because she picked up a victim that got away from him. Oh, okay. That is interesting. That's interesting. That is very, very interesting. Hmm. For the love of God. So yeah, it's a little kooky because we're talking about, yeah, I know they did. I heard about that. Well, they asked them or something, but yeah, you met him on on Craigslist? Like what? Like what the hell, dude? Meeting on Craigslist. Interesting. Interesting. That's the thing. Like, I mean, Craigslist was a thing back then. Like, you guys remember, like, there was the Craigslist killer. Like, that was like a thing. Like, they still, you don't think do they still do that on Craigslist? Like, what? What? I can't. Bongo the clown is still in ICU and I kind of feel bad. I mean, Bongo might have deserved it. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't do clowns. I do not do clowns. Like, I do not. No, no, I don't. You're welcome, Susan. So, I mean, this is just weird though. Like, yeah, Shannon Gilbert, she was the one who was murdered by him. Like you guys have been saying she hasn't been murdered, right? Like, clearly she was murdered. Like, I mean, stop it. Like, stop it. Yeah, I haven't had a time to watch the press conference, but I thought we would I thought we would show it, but I can't find it. That's the problem. Yeah, Rex was a swinger. I saw that part. Apparently. Weird, right? But there's a second part of this affidavit that's kind of like, it's just like a weird like Craigslist. Like, I know Craigslist was like a thing back then, right? Like, but Craigslist, like, of all things, let's move to this one. Hold on. There's a second affidavit. Oh, this is the second one. Okay. This is the second one. Okay. Well, that's the thing. They said she wasn't murdered, right? Like, but now you're saying she was. So, like, there's a lot of like corruption in this case and a lot of like really suspect shit that the cops did and didn't do. Like, this right here is very similar to the corruption you deal with the Karen Reed case. There is just shit that they didn't do and did do and swept under the rug on purpose, clearly. And it's just interesting. Like, this is the update, right? This is the affidavit. Like, this cab driver dealt with two separate instances with Rex Huberman. Two separate ones. One where he pulled a gun, right? And one where, as you see in this affidavit, he picks up, yeah, they knew he was a killer. Like, he just didn't do anything. Like, and you guys did nothing. Like, what you guys knew. You guys freaking knew. Like, do something about it. Like, how about we, I don't know, hold people responsible, especially if they're, connected to law enforcement. Like, you guys knew something was wrong and you ignored it. And then so the tip line gets these tips and no one ever follows up with this cab driver. No one ever follows up. Now that has to make you go, what in the fuck? What in the fuck? Like, it absolutely 100% happened. Like, that's, I mean, and you guys didn't follow up on a tip that someone was clearly murdered. Like, oh man, ridiculous. Like, ridiculous. Yeah, the cops went into the swinger parties, right? Like, absolutely. Because, Rose, if they come in here starting problems and trouble, and I'm talking about something else, and they want to be ignorant and rude, they're getting timed out. That's why. That's why. They're not coming in here to listen to what I'm doing here. They're just coming in here to be trolls. So if you're here to be a troll, you're going to get timed out. It's as simple as that. Yeah, except no one's shoplifted. So you might want to like, yeah, nah, never happened. Bongo probably does. It's not a nice person, Bongo. All right, let's see. This is the other affidavit. I residing at a confidential address. Okay, well, I find it funny though they write it confidential. Usually they put the address and they redact it, right? Now they only redacted the person's name. They didn't redact the address. Like, why not redact the address? Like, it doesn't make sense to me why they would do that, like, at all. Like, that makes no sense. All right, we're gonna. Sorry. All right. Being duly sworn state as follows. I am over 18 years of age. I reside in the state of New York. I am of sound mind and memory. I've come forward to state facts which I personally know to be true. I stated these facts to John Ray Esquire, and in this affidavit, I have asked John Ray to prepare this affidavit to reflect my words and my knowledge. This affidavit contains my words and my knowledge. I have determined to come forward with the facts within my knowledge because I wish the truth to be known about Rex Huerman and others, including his wife, Asa? I don't know how you would say that name. And a woman I believe to have been Karen Vergata. I believe that the great harm came to that woman I believe to have been Karen Vergata when she was at the Huerman home in Massapequa Park, New York, in or about Valentine's Day 1996. I feel a heavy responsibility as to her. That is why I contacted John Ray. I am a former swinger. Just what? Like, it starts off with that. Like, it's not just something you like ease into. Like, it's something he literally just, I was a former swinger. Like, what? Oh man. This is insane. Like what? I can't. I literally can't. I can't believe it. Like, he just goes right into it. There's no like, just like, oh, I'm gonna ease into it. He's like, nope, I'm a former swinger. I'm 54 years old. Oh, then he tells people what a swinger is. A swinger is a person who partners with another person, and then that partnership has sex with other partners or groups of partners. Interesting. Interesting. Let's see. His name is no. Okay. I formed a partnership with an NYPD policeman in and around 1996. His name is known to me and to Mr. Ray. I call him RW because clearly they don't want to like out him, so they just give initials. He has been a police officer assigned in Prospect Park in Brooklyn. He became a detective. He was handsome. I loved that man. We became partner members of a swingers club known as Trapeze. Now, just saying, has anybody known Studio 54? Like, I don't know, the 100 or so people watching Ted, that's who. Like, oh man. You're on Facebook. Everybody else is over here on YouTube. So yeah. I love that this guy just like tells us what, like, I mean, this is wild, but it's called Trapeze, apparently, this swingers club. I believe it was in Lower Midtown in Manhattan. Okay. Sex amongst partners there was common and encouraged, including on the premises. I believe that as many as 300 members and their partners could be there at any time. Well, okie dokie then. I and RW went to Trapeze several times and engaged in sex with other couples there several times. I saw others having sex there as well. Sex took place in rooms And in a big room as well, several members were police officers. Several members were from Long Island. Members were enabled to post messages and contact information on a wall. Is this like that thing where like you go into a bathroom stall and people like write each other's names? Like what? Yeah, 600 at once. Like what? That's what? What? Hey, that's cuckoo bananas. That's cuckoo craziness. Like that is okay then. All right. Well, to each his own. That's fine. So, I mean, this, you guys have to remember, this was back in 1996 anyway. There was like, Studio 54 and all that shit way back. Well, that was before that, but still way back then, But, okay, so, all right, cool. Information on a wall. Apparently, that's what you did. Either Rex Huerman or his wife Asa posted contact information for them in a house in Massapequa Park to engage there in swinger sex. I wonder if they had an upside-down pineapple. I wonder if they had an upside-down pineapple. You think they had an upside-down pineapple? You guys know what that means, right? An upside-down pineapple is supposed to be like a sign that you're like a swinger. So if somebody has like an upside-down pineapple on like their porch or like, like kind of like in place of like a lawn gnome, like it's supposed to be like a swinger thing where other people will know that like your house is like a swinger house. It's a thing, apparently. Like, I learned that a few years ago and I was like, that can't be a thing. But apparently it is pineapples, bitches. Pineapples. All right. That's it. Like upside down pineapples. Sure. Okay. It said in 1996, I and RW chose to go there to the Huerman home in February 1996. RW picked up a woman I believe to be Karen Vergata in New York City on the way to the Huerman house. She was hungry and homeless. She sat in the back of the car. She leaned forward and to the right. When we stopped for gas, she said that she was scared. I told her not to be scared because RW was a cop. She couldn't be safer than being with a cop. I told her to ask at the house when we arrived to take a shower and for food. We entered the Huerman home by walking around the side of it. It was in the night. Inside the house in Massapequa Park, it was dark. Karen went downstairs. I stayed upstairs with Asa. My partner, who I believe was bisexual, kept disappearing. I believed he was elsewhere in the house having sex with Rex. I believe I had sex with Rex as well. I never went downstairs. How do you believe, though? Like, how do you not know? You say, I believe. Like, what? Like, what? 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 Yeah, definitely unblock poor Bob. Why is Bob blocked? uh, but I mean, how do you believe you had sex with someone but you don't know? Like, what? Like, what? Why is that a thing? Like, why do you not know? You think, but you don't know? Like, because he says, I believe. Like, I don't even you believe, but you have no idea. Like, that may, okay, cool. All right, you believe, but you have no idea. Back to the damn affidavit. I can't see you guys again, so just remember that when I'm reading this, I cannot see you. Asa told me words to the effect that Rex brought her from her country and that everything she had, he has given to her. She said that she was lucky that he was rich. She said she was also afraid of Rex. Do not know if she was truthful. I don't think that I ever went downstairs. I went towards the back of the house asking RW, where are you? He came out from the back, what seemed like from a room. I also saw a Christmas tree on the main floor. Yet it was long past Christmas. I wondered why there was still a Christmas tree up. I believe RW and I were there at the Huerman home on or about Valentine's Day. I believe that because RW and I would swing on holidays like Christmas, Valentine's Day, Halloween, and other such holidays. I also saw 2 large seashells on a shelf in the house. I recall thinking that they were like shells from the country where he had grown up, country's name known to Mr. Ray, and asked Asa if she had friends from my country. I do not remember what she replied. It also asked Asa if she wished me to perform sex upon her. Okay. But she said she didn't wish that. I recall that Rex went outside and started a fire in what appeared to be a large barrel. RW wished to leave. I went with him to his car. We left from the back door. RW complained that he lost his belt. He went back to the house to retrieve it. I saw the face of the woman I believe to be Karen up against a window in the house. She looked scared. I had a sense that she was calling for help. I told RW of this. The woman I believed to be Karen suddenly ran outside naked and ran about by the garage. RW had gone to the back of the house to look for his belt, but he was then back in the car. RW told me not to worry about her. She was okay. They were only playing a game. We left without her. I felt uneasy that we left without the woman. I saw Rex on TV recently in a picture of Karen Vergata. I recognized her as the woman who RW and I brought to Huerman's home. I was shocked and deeply sorrowful for having left her behind at the Huerman's house. I told John Ray of these things because I needed to speak with him so that Karen would not be left behind again. Now, clearly, this person feels really, really bad. Like, they have some guilt. Like, you know, that's bad. Like, yeah, I've done that a couple times accidentally. Thank you. I've done it accidentally a bunch of times because when it moves up and you're trying to, it just poop. It happens, dude. It happens. It happens accidentally. I've done it. I've done it twice accidentally. If it starts moving too much, it's tough. But I mean, this person clearly felt like you should be able to unblock Chrissy. Felt like, you know, it was like they needed to. Like that they needed to say this because like they knew they left her behind and they knew she was like murdered. Like that's just terrible. Oh, well, that's freaking stupid. I didn't know that. Like, I mean, it's sad. And it's like sad to think that like a cop brought this girl to the house with his swinging partner and they left her there. And a cop had to have known that was not a game. Like she clearly must have like, you know, been like, no, like, and he must have just knew what the fuck was going on. That's clear. Like she was homeless, obviously. Like, I don't know how. What do you mean? I can't until I can. I can't because I would have to go into like a whole different thing on YouTube, and I don't. That would take a lot of time for me to do all that. And I can't see whether you did unhidden or not. I don't know. I don't know how to do it. I know how to do, like, go to the block list or whatever, but I can't do unhidden. There's no way for me to see whether it's unhidden or not. Also, I don't see the same stuff you do with the moderators. I don't have the same stuff you do. I have like a whole different thing. But yes, a cop brought a victim there. Left her there to be murdered. Like, she was straight out of jail and homeless too. And you're right. That's exactly what happened. So you have to wonder how much of these cops already knew. They already knew. Like, what did you already know? And when did you already know it? Like, because we're talking, you know, we're playing a game. Like, not playing a game, dude. She looked scared. Even the person who, you know, signed this affidavit could clearly tell that they look scared, right? Like she looked scared. Like that clearly means like he knew she was signaling for help. Like that's clear, right? Like, that's crazy talk. That's just crazy talk. You sent me a screenshot. All right, hold on. Well, I mean, it's bad, dude. Like, how could they? Like, I mean, a cop left her there and knew she wanted help. Like, you know, clearly the passenger knew, said, oh, she needs help. She's looking for help. Like, in what? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely not a damn thing. Like you said, they're playing a game. Oh, it's fine. If you felt uneasy though, I don't know how I could continue on without being like, no, stop. I want to go check personally. Like something's not right and I need to go check. Like, I mean, obviously this person feels absolutely terrible, which is why they wrote this affidavit, because in the way they wrote it, it literally made like they wrote like, so she doesn't get left behind again. Like, I mean, she passed away. So, I mean, she kind of got left behind, but like she clearly needed help. Like, Oh, yeah, that's the excuse, a change of staff. I think it says that's the worst part. She clearly needed help. I wonder how deep this goes with the cops. They didn't look for Rex for years due to change of staff as an excuse. Yeah, because that's a real big excuse to not. I mean, we're talking about from 1996 to 2011. I think we're up to 11 victims. So, I mean, how many more does he actually have? Because I don't believe there's only 11. I really, really don't. I don't. Like, I don't. I don't think for 1 second that they didn't know exactly. They was thrown into the. I mean, you guys remember too. Back in the 90s, there was a lot of corruption in New York in the police departments. Like, yeah, it went all the way till 2011, but there was a lot of corruption back in that day in New York. Like, a lot. You know, you had the families back then, and lots of shit being run by like rackets and all. Like, it was awful. Like, it is terrible. I can't imagine myself. I don't want to. Yeah, New York. They already knew, right? Well, that's probably exactly it. Like, I mean, it doesn't add up, right? Like, there's 11 victims from 1996 till 2011. There, first of all, there's no way there's only 11 victims. Okay, that is a long period of frigging time, like a very long period of time. And if there's already 11, if this guy, even and his wife for that matter, were swinging and murdering people, like, do you think there's only 11 after all that time? No freaking way, dude. I would argue he's just as bad as like the Green River Killer. Like, what? Wasn't there like 49 victims in that one? Like, I mean, that's a lot of victims. Like, and I bet there's more from that too. Like, I mean, there's got to be something close to that here, dude. That's my guess. That would be my guess because I mean, I guess that would be my opinion that there's no effing way there's only 11 victims if this guy was this like angry. Like, he should have run to the cab driver, dude. Like, these are really weird affidavits. Like, these, like, obviously there's a reason that these people came forward, but like, the fact is the first one called the tip line and never heard a thing. Oh yeah, there's likely a lot more. A lot more. And what else did they not, like, who else didn't they call back from the tip line? Like, how many of these people called in tips about this guy? Because they were bold enough to like show their faces and like, they weren't like really hiding all that well. They weren't trying to in some instances. So I'd guess there would be a lot more tips to the tip line. And as we know in the first affidavit I just read, they didn't bother to follow up with the person. And that person had 2 instances, especially the one where he pulled a gun. Like, and especially the one with the naked, or she wasn't naked, but that girl that was running out of she was another cab driver, wasn't she? That ran out of the hotel. Like, what the hell? A paper. He stuffed envelope in a paper and basically said it was money and said, "Oh, this is for your family. We're going to take care of your mother and your sisters." And he went to the bathroom and she checked and it's paper. Just paper. There's no money in it. Just paper, dude. What? Why? Like, she knew right then and there something was very, very wrong. Very, very wrong. Like, and again, unless this was like, in the 90s, they had cell phones, but like, I don't know if you guys remember them, like the big, big ones. Like, there was some. Do you guys remember the car phones? I do as a kid. My grandparents had one of those car phones that had like, it was in like a zip up case and it even had a cord connected to it still. Like, I remember those. And then there were the big giant cell phones with the big ass antenna, like before they, moved over to the smaller things like the Nokia or the Nextel. Like, but I mean, I remember my very first Nokia or pager. You guys remember those? Like, so we're talking all the way from like pager days to cell phone days. That's how, like, good cell phone days. That's how far this case goes. 96 to 2011. I'm going to guess it didn't start in 96. Gonna guess that's just what they can prove or they think they can prove right now. Because, I mean, if they were already doing what they were doing, there's no way it started in 1996. That's just the first person they can prove that they killed in 96, probably. Which is like, where's his wife's involved? Like, that's no good. That's definitely no good. Like, if he's reported of having a gun and showing the cab driver, then why wasn't anything done about it? Nope, people are listening. People are listening. And some people don't watch on their some people watch on their TV. So they can't comment. They watch it on their TV, or they watch it without a membership, without making a YouTube. So they can't comment. So sometimes you'll see it keep going. And sometimes people are just listening or watching from other devices where they can't. I know specific people do watch from like their TV and they don't comment. This means the wife had to have known too. She claims she didn't though. Yeah. But this witness puts her at the scene. Like, yeah, well, I believe she probably knew. Yeah. I think she probably knew. Absolutely. I mean, I'm guessing she probably knew. Like, and that's another thing. The police commissioner resigned 3 days ago. Like, it's a little suspicious. I'm just saying. Like, you did. Bongo was a thing. Yeah, see? Exactly. Some people do. Some people do. They watch on their TV. No. Listen. You will watch comments disappear if people come in and decide that they're going to be rude or ignorant, or that's what's going to happen. So you probably didn't, Kelly. It was probably an accident, because sometimes when you're trying to like do it and the chat moves up, you can accidentally hit the one above it or below it. So it probably was just an accident. Yeah, see, a lot of people do it on their TV. No, I'm sure you didn't, Kelly. I'm sure it was just an accident. See, see, I just did it. See, when the chat moves like that, you can accidentally like click on the wrong person, and then you can't do anything about it until it undoes its time. Like, it's obnoxious, but that's how it does. My friend said she saw lipstick as a joke. It was timed out. Well, that's a tasteful joke right now, though. Like, I mean, come on. Like, let's try to, like, everyone just be civil. It's really that simple. Like, it's that simple. If you can't be civil, then you can't stay. And that's that. Like, also, you got to remember, my mods are doing the best they can, dude. If the chat starts moving quick, they gotta, you gotta give them some friggin' slack here. Yeah, it is very annoying when they move really fast. No. I don't think it was. I think it was probably an accident. Don't, Sabrina, don't. Actually, I mean, if you guys want rude, I'm sure Kyle has like just pages of stuff he wants to, talk shit about. You did make it. Oh my god, I forgot to send you that picture. I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm the worst right now. I'm sorry. I've been really busy today. Like a billion busy. I forgot to. You are rude. You're so fucking rude, Kyle. God damn it. You're so goddamn rude. I forgot to send you the picture, and I will remind myself to send it to you. But in case you want to take a screenshot of it, these are the Karen Reed cards. But I will send you a picture of it in text message so you have a bigger one. I just forgot, but I'll put it right here on my thingy here so I won't forget, and I can send it to you after the show. It's been super busy. Oh, yeah, it just happens. It happens. There's more than one mod, you guys. We have multiple mods. He did. He's got great stories, though. He's got great stories. Like, really great stories. Like, super great stories. He's also got some pretty good funnies. I'm not gonna lie. Like, he's got some pretty good funnies. All right, let me see. Let me get this thing down here. I just found that, like, the affidavits to be, like, weird. Like, they're weird in a good way because it's part of the case, but, like, I don't really see anybody talking about these affidavits, and I'm like, this is a little strange. It also, like, makes you think about what the cops were doing and weren't doing. Like, I think, yeah, I mean, there are plenty of people. There are plenty of people. Okay. You know what else is funny? This. Isn't that so funny? Uh, the official Sneaker Boys crime was Woodhouses. Yeah. Why do I need multiple mods? Because there usually is plenty of discussion. That's why. It does takes more than one person to do it. You're not muted. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, this is an update that I felt like, what the hell? Why? Why wouldn't anybody want to talk to this? It's like, why? You're not muted. I also don't mute people. You either get timed out or bounced. It's that simple. And I have mods that do that for me. Like, that's kind of why you have mods. But it's weird. Like, why wouldn't you want to talk? Like, this is like those two affidavits are weird. Like, those are some strange affidavits. Like, but I mean, they are like, you can tell how, like, they're very different. Like, they're very different circumstances, both of them. And you can tell though that that very last person feels really awful about leaving her at the Huerman house and not doing anything. Like, it's sad. Like, it's sad. Like, I feel so bad for that person because why, like, you tell your cop friend, right? Like, hey, I feel a little uneasy about this. Like, looks like she's needing some help. And then your cop buddy goes to find his, you know, thing and comes back and goes, no, she doesn't need help. It's just a joke. It's a joke. Like, it's a joke. Like, it's a joke. I didn't say anything to him, so that's where you're wrong. And again, you're going to be disappointed one day. Let's just put it that way. Like, you literally have no idea just by that comment. I know that you literally have no clue whatsoever what's happening. Like, I literally can't. Like, oh man. Well, I mean, oh man. No bum touching here. I don't touch anybody's bum but the husband. The only person's bum I touch. Thank you very much. I mean, I don't know. Kyle's gonna get the rope, but come on. Like, come on. Come on. Oh man. But I thought it was weird. I thought these affidavits were weird. Mainstream media has been all over the Gilgo murders. So why not any of it? Why not any of these affidavits? Like, why not? And then, do we know where the press conference is? Like, I can't find it. Like, do we know where the fuck it is? Because because, you know, I want to show you guys because the press conference was a little strange as well. Like, it would, what? Like, okay, he was a swinger. Now we know he's a swinger. So how many other swinger parties did the Gilgo Beach serial killer go to? How many other swinger parties did he take women from? How many other people brought women to his house? How many other cops brought people to, like, was this guy who you thought was solid and your friend and your partner in swinging, was he bringing women to Huerman? Like, I did see that, Bob. I saw that they were approached. I don't know if they actually had to leave, but I do know they were approached. But thanks, girl. No, I have not. But you know what you can check for upside down pineapples. I'm so serious. I'm not, that was not a joke. I meant that. Like, I totally meant that. Upside down pineapples. Like, that's an actual thing. We're supposed to, like, tell you that the person is a swinger if they have, like, an upside down pineapple, like, outside their house or, like, inside. I guess it's like a little thing. Like, you know, like the Jeep wave where people who have Jeeps and they wave at each other. Like, that's a Jeep thing, right? Like, this is an actual, like, swinger thing, upside down pineapples. Like, upside down pineapples. It's an actual thing. Like, I mean, hey, to each his own. That's okay. To each his own. No problem. You want to swing? You do. You do you, boo-boo. You do you. But probably just get an upside down pineapple, because apparently that's a thing. Like, it's probably a thing. Like, oh, you got the news conference? Ooh, where? Can you send it to my email? Or is it a link? Because I don't think you can put links in the chat. I don't think it's set up that way. I think it won't pop up as a link. It'll just pop up as like numbers that I can't do anything with. Yes, that's what it is. That's what it is. I don't know. That's a good question. Thank you. That's a good question. The groceries don't grab a pineapple, leave at the top of your car with no other groceries. Watch the eyeballs who glare you. Oh my God. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? That would be hilarious. 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 Jersey's my girl. See, that's how she knew that. That's how she knew it. See, I found this out a few years ago. It was just like knowledge that one of my friends was like, "Oh, hey, did you know?" And I was like, "How'd you know?" Like, I'm like, of course you do, Bobby. You just love pineapples. Pineapples. Oh, damn. That's no good. I'm not allergic to pineapple. I just don't usually. Kyle never disappoints, ever. Nope. Never. They tried to rope him back last night because he left early, and that was a no-no here. And Jen got the rope out. They were trying to, oh, you Googled it. Good old Google. Good old, thanks, Google. Appreciate that, Google. Appreciate that, Google. Thank you, Google. I like pineapples. Silly. I like pineapples too, though, to be fair. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I suspect he has. When I call you after the show, are you going to tell me that you've been to these, Kyle? Yeah, they didn't give you permission, dude. Like, all right, let me get it. Let me get it. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. I'm going to get this this thing that we can watch. It's going to take me a second to get. Scroll all the way down. Boop. Okay. Ooh. I'm going to pause real quick. All right. I know it is. I know. Listen. I know it's bad. I know. All right. Listen. I have two bad vices in my life, and it is coffee and cigarettes. And I know. Okay. I know. I totally know. I know. And I'm trying very hard to cut down slowly, but it's a difficult thing. It's a difficult thing. No, Kyle is not. He's a very good friend. A funny fucking friend. Like, you might be the ambassador. You're the ambassador of funny. Jen's working. Like, working. She does too. Your poor girlfriend. I feel so bad. Sorry, Mrs. Kyle. We're gonna call you Mrs. Kyle, so nobody just knows your name. But we're gonna call you sorry, Mrs. Kyle. Not a flirt. It's a friend. He's a friend. Yeah. Well, it happens too. Yeah, exactly. He's like that. He's like a secret character you unlock in Mortal Kombat, and also a friend. Him and my husband actually have quite the back and forth of fuckery and funniness. Them two are ridiculous. Oh my God, harsh. I forgot. I didn't go to jury duty. I'm a terrible human being. Also, when something's like dismissed, that means it's like, I don't know, not guilty. You guys do know that, right? Like, that's what that means. Not very smart, are you? Like, no worries. No worries. Actually, I'm not actually sure, to be honest. No, I have no idea. No clue. Clearly, I never got that. No fucking clue whatsoever. No clue whatsoever. None. I've only ever been sent jury duty twice in my life. They did not want me the first time, and the second time they didn't need me either. Yeah, they should, but apparently they don't. And also, when things get dismissed, like for instance, I don't know if you get charged with like 10 felonies or so, and they figure out eventually that they fucked up and it was unjust, guess what happens to it? It gets dismissed. And then guess what? It stays on your record forever. Forever. It stays there forever. So anyone can look it up and it'll say that forever. That's what happens. Just so you don't do jury duty with a sick child. You don't. I mean, they don't care though. They don't care if your kid's sick. That's not the reason they dismiss you. They dismiss you either because you say like, I have a bias, or like they don't like one of your answers and they say, nope, bye. You do? That's weird. Why would you people like jury duty? Why? Ooh. Oh, you were home. See, now if it all could be like that, if it could just be when you were at home, that would be great. Right? Like, absolutely great. Like, if it could just be home, I think everybody would love to do jury duty if you could just like be at home and it was like a Zoom. Like, count me in, coach. Like, it's having to go to other places and sit there and not get paid, and really they're not going to pick you anyway, so it doesn't freaking matter. Like, I mean, what's there to like? Like what is there to like, honestly? I mean, I guess like the case, yeah, like that would be a cool part of it, is like the case, but I never get picked anyway, so it doesn't matter. But um I also like when the comments keep coming like this, Kel. It happens sometimes, and other times people are just listening and watching on their TV. Like, it's just, I mean, I know a lot of people that watch just on their TV, so they can't comment back. Like, they'll text me and just tell me they're watching. Like, they can't comment from their TV. Or if you don't have an account, if you just watch YouTube and you don't make an account, you can't actually post in the live comments, but you can just watch. Like, I mean, yes, it's an American thing, and we are lucky, absolutely. But like when you only get paid for like 3 days of it or whatever, it's kind of like, okay, then what do you do? Like, if you only get paid for 3 days of it, right? What happens when the trial lasts 3 weeks? They give you like a $30 stipend. That's not going to cover your day in work. Maybe they feed you lunch sometimes. Like, you know, no, I would never want to live in a country that doesn't. No, I wouldn't want to live in a country that doesn't. Absolutely not. Nope. No. But you have have the right answers anyway to be on jury duty. Your work should pay you. I agree. 100% they should. 100% they should. But okay, so for instance, so let me ask you this. What would someone do who works? Oh, you want a grand jury? Ooh, those are actually, I would want to be on a grand. Those are interesting though. Those are at least interesting. Like, you can ask questions and like that I would like to do. That would be kind of cool. Oh, they do? Oof, that is lucky ducky. You are lucky. Get unemployment for jury duty? Oh, what? Not he. I don't think so. Oh, I'm sure they are. Because they don't have, well, I mean, some countries do, and other countries don't. It's just judges. And you're like, okay, hey, judge, if you don't like my face today, I guess I'm guilty, because that's kind of how it works, literally. Like, literally, quite literally. Do you guys remember? Oh my God. I mean, everybody remembers this case, but you have to remember, right? Really? 98? Do they like roll over? Like, I've never had that. Like, even Not the prison. They gave us 3 days of jury duty. That's what we got. 3 days. That's it. That's all. Thank you, Bridgewater. We got 3 days. I don't know if it's different now, but when I worked there, it was 3 days. Like, that was all we got. No, they don't have to. They do not. Unfortunately, they don't. But for instance, right? Like, what do you do if, like, you work for yourself? Like, what if you do this? What if this is your job? Your work would be you. So you're going to pay yourself for jury duty? That would kind of suck. Like, yes, they do have a thing where, like, they'll give you a stipend for a certain amount per day, but it's a very low amount, does not obviously cover the cost of you actually being at work and working. So, me, like, how's that work? But that's $25 a day. That's it. Like, $25 versus, obviously way more for a full day of work. Well, that's why. See, that's why you have that many, because you've been there 23 years. Yeah. Really? That's interesting. I didn't know that. I mean, here's the thing. I like it for the, like, sitting in, like, but you can sit in on any case that's public. You can sit on in any case you want. I've done that a million times. You can do that. But jury duty, there's that sense of responsibility of, if you fuck up and you get this wrong, and you get it wrong, and juries have got it wrong, but if you get it wrong and that person goes away forever, then what? And you find out, 10, 5, 15 years later, like, you were misled and you voted guilty, and that person, was in jail for all that time innocent. Like, I would feel awful. Absolutely fucking awful. I would feel terrible. Yeah, it's like 3 PTO days or something. Yeah, exactly. Got nothing after 3 days. Got me gas money 2 days a week. Yeah, that's the thing. Usually it's 3 days and that's it. And that's all they want to give you. Like, not a lot, Kelly. Not a lot. Not a fucking lot. Not for the hours that I work. I think some people just think, like, live streaming is the only part of it. It's not. FYI. It is not. No, savings is absolutely important. It just gets hard when you live in a state like Massachusetts, where they tax you out the ass for everything and all your money goes to bills. There's nothing left to save at the end of the day. That's the problem, right? Like, that's the issue. Like, that's the issue. And this is what it usually is here in Mass. It's like, you get 3 days and that's it. Like, I mean, sounds cool to be on a grand jury, though. Like, that I could do. That you can, like, ask more questions. I mean, the juries can ask questions too, but, like, there's certain things you can't ask. There are certain things that are, they won't answer. Like, grand juries have, like, a very big slew of things you can do, which would actually be, that I would like. I would like that. But, the whole, like, 12 people deciding whether the person could go to jail for their entire life or not. Well, they can send questions in. Like, they can, so say they're in deliberation and they have a question. They can write it in and ask the judge if the answer can be given to them or not. That's what I mean. But you can't ask the witnesses questions. Like, you can't go out there and be like, you. You can just, like, write it down and send it out to the judge, and the judge can decide whether they can give you an answer or not. So it's kind of like the grand jury, though. Like, you can actually, like, have questions that you want to, like, answers to from the witnesses. And it's like, that would be cool. That would be pretty cool. Like, I think that would, yes. Hi, Patty. I want to clarify, by the way, Patty, because Patty was the one who donated on the last stream for the 50/50, and it was 150, not 350. Okay. Someone commented, like, it's 350, so you didn't give the right. Nope, it was 150, and Patty is the one who donated it. So, yes, a grand jury basically runs the show. Like, they're the ones who are allowed to ask. Like, they're allowed to do that. Like, that's a thing. Like, that's why I think a grand jury would be fun. That's why I think it would be fun. My dad used to make me save 3% of my paycheck, and I've always done that, literally $7 a week. Yeah, see, that's the problem, though. If you could save, if you say that $7, right, that you save a week, say now gas prices have gone up and food has gone up. And now that $7 is eaten up by the gas or the food that you're buying for your household. And there's not any money left. You can't save what you don't have. And that's the problem that we have in Massachusetts. It's one of the most expensive places to live in the entire country. That's a problem. It's hard. That's really, really hard. Like, oh, I had a case I remembered seeing in the news. Young woman killed on her steps walking into her home. The ex-boyfriend stalked and shot her, but it was her identical twin. Mm. Oh, can you imagine? That would be terrible. OMG. Can you imagine being the other twin though, right? That literally lived and was the target. Like that would be unfathomable. Like I'd probably die of just like the feeling of survivor's guilt, really. Like, because that's kind of how it works. Like, yeah. If you work in Massachusetts as a full-time, part-time temp, your employer must pay your regular wages for work missed for the first 3 days of service. Also, after the third day, the state may compensate jurors $50 a day. Yeah, which is like nothing. You know? Hey, looking it up. That works. Hey, good old Google, right? You know, good old Google. We're talking about juries versus grand juries. There's a difference. Right. You really are a permanent juror on a grand jury. Yes. Those are good too. Those are what, like, that's what usually people do is like put it into a 401k or something similar to that. And then they, save a certain percentage of their paycheck that comes automatically out of their paycheck. You don't see. That's what I did when I worked at the prison. So it came automatically out, never even seen it. So, you kind of don't miss it when you see it, even though you kind of need it. Like, but it's just the smartest way to do it. It's just the smartest way to do it. Okay, let's get this up here. Let's watch this because I think it's important to watch this little press thing here. Okay, let's get it up here.
Happening now, a potential update in the Gilgo Beach murders. The attorney for victims in the case is expected to announce new evidence. Let's listen in.
One other station that was late, and they're here. Okay, so then we don't have to wait. I wasn't going to wait anyway, but if they step in, they step in.
No, never happened.
All right, when you're ready, you tell me, and I'll tell you I'm ready.
OMG.
Good afternoon, everybody. We're here today because new information has arisen in this case from witnesses who were so far unknown. Those witnesses, of which there are 4, have given us statements, 2 of whom have given us affidavits regarding this case, regarding Rex Uerman and Shannon Gilbert and Karen Vergata. Before I talk about them, first, I want you to be aware that here stands the commissioner, as you know, with me. And up until now, we have not made it known to the public.
I'm going to address this comment real quick because I'm gonna. Except whatever she's coming in hot about would be a falsehood because I didn't take pictures of anyone. I was live streaming for an hour. I can't live stream and take pictures at the same time. When I stopped live streaming, I didn't take any pictures of anyone who didn't let me. And I posted every single picture that I had. Also, I didn't send anybody any pictures. All of the pictures from the party, I haven't sent a single person a picture from that party. I posted on a Facebook page. That's the only time I ever put any pictures out there. So there's that. So next time, maybe, I don't know. Here's this thing called proof. And secondly, it doesn't exist because it didn't happen. That's what I find funny. It never happened. right? See how that works? Like there can't be proof of something didn't happen. That's why I find it funny, because it's not how it works, right? Like I'm sick of hearing about pictures I never took. Like that's not a thing. It didn't freaking happen. So again, also though, like I'm pretty sure like you're at a party where 1 billion people can see you and there's 1 billion people taking pictures. So like I don't know, maybe why you should like check with other people, like like come on, dude. Yeah, no, because I won't be talking to them. So there's that. Once again, you guys are going to distract, you're going to go because I'm in the middle of doing a live stream.
That we have been working together on this case steadily since the time that I came to know Commissioner Harris a year ago, February. We, up until that point, the police department was very resistant to receiving any kind of evidence or information from my office from what I was doing. That all changed significantly when Commissioner Harris stepped in and we began to collaborate. And we've collaborated ever since. That collaboration has had fruit. And that fruit, at least, are the witnesses I'm going to be talking about today, as well as other evidence and information which we have shared together and with the police department, and therefore with the task force. So it is true to say that our cooperation has given rise to more substantial, valuable evidence in the entire case of the Long Island serial killer. So with that in mind, I'm very pleased that Commissioner Harrison has seen fit to open his mind and to do what I'm suggesting has been done, contrary to all those who have come before him. And he's approaching this case in the right way. He's the right man for the job, and he's done his job well. As to the witnesses, as to the evidence, in no particular order of importance, because so much of it is important, I have stood as a beacon as a civilian beacon
The hat,
to
though.
the people who are involved in this case to come and talk where they didn't want to approach the police out of fear,
The
out
hat.
of apprehension, out of in some cases, a natural distaste for the police department because of the work these people were in. So they would then come to me and speak to me, and I would interview them, and we would then cooperate, them, and the police department. And so with that in mind, the first two witnesses I'm going to talk about are both of them are not Suffolk County residents. I should point out that we obtained from these two affidavits, their names will go unmentioned. Their names are blotted out of the affidavits, but the affidavits will be available to you right after the press conference.
Which we already read.
As to the first one I'll talk about, this is a witness who has every reason to have no bias, no interest in the case whatsoever. She was not a sex worker, is not a sex worker.
Yes, I am.
And instead,
Sure am.
back in the 90s, in the 1990s, she was what is known then and now as a swinger. She would have a sex partner, and they would go to certain sex clubs in New York City where they would switch partners with other people of like kind. One of the most important places that they would go was called La Trapeze on West 27th Street in New York, right near Rex Heuermann's office. And this was a notorious place for swapping, for switching partners. Sometimes several hundred people at a time would be involved in this place in its heyday. Its heyday was in the late 90s, right at the time that Karen Brigada is involved in this case. In this situation, this particular woman was dating a police officer from New York City who was in narcotics, a detective, and they would go to these switchy clubs, these swapping clubs.
These switchy clubs. Switchy clubs.
At a certain time, at or about Valentine's Day of 1996, I believe, the couple went to Le Trapeze, and I think it was on the wall at Le Trapeze where an advertisement was placed to go to a house in Massapequa Park for partying, for switching, for swapping. She went with her boyfriend out to Long Island, but before they went, her boyfriend picked up a woman in New York, in the city, who had apparently just gotten out of jail, and she was disheveled and hungry, and she was a sex worker. We don't know the details yet of how he came to know her, but he knew her. And she came in the car with the two of them. They went to Massapequa Park. Before they got there, they stopped at a gas station, and the girl who was with them expressed some apprehension about where they were going and why. That was all wiped out when it was pointed out that he's a police detective, so don't worry, no problem. They ended up going to Rex Uhrman's house. In the house was the wife of Rex Uhrman and Rex Uhrman and the other girl. The other girl who we believe to be Karen Vergata. This girl disappears downstairs at the house. Rex Uhrman disappears. And according to our witness and other witnesses I've talked to, when men are swingers with their partner, very often they switch sexually. They go back and forth between male and female. And so Uhrman leaves the main floor and disappears either into another bedroom or downstairs. It's not clear. And the witness talks to Rex's wife. She doesn't want to have sex like she had expected to occur because our client believes because our client is an African-American woman. And Uhrman didn't like that. Ellerup, rather, didn't like that.
Except she didn't.
So there was no sex between them, as was originally planned. So instead, the sex is between Uhrman and the other man.
Say that.
At some point,
see how that works?
The witness goes looking for her partner and is kind of upset that he doesn't emerge. He emerges, and finally, they leave, and kind of in a hurry. But when they leave, as they're leaving, the witness points out that she could see in the window, looking out, the girl that had come with them. And she says to her driver, her partner, "What are we doing? Are we taking her?" And the partner says, "Don't worry. They're just playing a game. She stays there. No problem." With that, the girl runs out of the house naked and is running in front of the garage. And now the witness says, "Hey, shouldn't we be taking her? Something's wrong here." And the driver tells her, "Nah, they're just playing a game. Leave it." And they leave. She never hears about the incident again. She distinctly remembers Uhrman. She also had intercourse with Uhrman that same day. And she kind of buries it, forgets about it, until on TV she sees the picture of Karen Vergata, and she recognizes her and said, "That's her," and she recognizes Rex Uhrman. And so she comes forward, and I meet her. I interview her at great length. I also had the police department. We arranged for detectives to interview her. And I found her story. I interviewed her for 3 times for a total of 9 hours. And I found her story to be credible. She also mentioned that Rex would go out in the backyard and start a fire at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning in a big barrel that was outside in the back.
Yeah, I
And
wonder
she
why.
was worried about that too, that it would attract police. Anyway, she seemed credible. She appears to be credible, and she was willing to sign
Okay.
an affidavit to that effect, and
Yeah.
that affidavit will be available to everybody. In the details I've just told you, you will find there.
You can't have an honest
second witness.
discussion with someone who's lying,
Who's
right?
come forward? This woman
So how do you have an honest discussion with someone else who's lying?
is not a sex worker, never was.
Like,
She's
stop.
not a switcher or swapper. She's not involved in any sexual activities whatsoever. She has nothing to gain by coming forward. She's not looking for a book or money or the usual things that you're hearing about
Yeah.
out there. None of that. But she came forward because she's very disturbed about what she knows after she also saw Rex Uhrman on television and Shannon Gilbert. And here's her story. She is a banker by day, and at night she worked extra in Suffolk County as a taxi driver to take care of her family. With a one-parent family. As a taxi driver, she is called from her dispatcher to go to the Sayville Motor Lodge on Sunrise Highway, that infamous place that the commissioner here busted a year ago, and for prostitution and other illegal activities. She's called to go to that place, and that there's a girl awaiting her who's locked in a bathroom and will come out if she flashes her lights and beeps the horn. And
Weird.
she goes there and does that several times. It doesn't work. But then suddenly a giant man who fits the description of Rex Uhrman comes out, and he's covering his face with his arms so he can't be seen, and he runs to a van or an SUV right nearby that's parked right there. She continues to flash her lights and beep her horn, and out comes a girl, crying, shaking, very upset, and gets in her car. There they talk for a while, and then eventually they drive to the Ronkonkoma Railroad Station, so that this girl can go back in to New York City. This girl was a sex worker who was servicing the big man, and the man had seduced her into coming to Sayville by several times over the telephone, convincing her that he was just a nice man who was going to help and work with her to help her family, her mother, her sisters, and her boyfriend. Shannon has a mother, sisters, and a boyfriend at that time. She had her hair pulled back, and because she often wore wigs. This girl turns out to be Shannon Gilbert. Now, Shannon is lured into doing this particular tryst, and she's given an envelope, or shown an envelope by the man that looked like it was stuffed full of money. And he tells her there's $1,000 in there. It's for you and your family no matter what happens tonight.
That's why I love you.
She looks in the envelope when he goes to the bathroom, and it's stuffed with paper.
The
And
hat,
so
though.
she panics and realizes something's wrong. So she goes in the bathroom, and he had become very aggressive, very angry. She goes in the bathroom, locks the door, and calls to get a cab. And that's how she comes out. They speak for over an hour. So the driver knows her well and notices that she has a drooping eye, which is characteristic of Shannon, and also a characteristic of her family, by the way, going back for a generation or two. And so she notices that, and it helps her to remember Shannon when she sees her later on. That's the first part of the story. It doesn't end there. This is part 2. Several days or weeks later, it's not clear, and this is all occurring in the fall of 2009. This is all occurring. She the driver gets another call from the same dispatcher and says that there's a man named Matt who she's to pick up right off of exit 59 in the expressway, and he would be at a bar that was there by, I guess, Ocean Avenue, somewhere over there. She goes there, pulls up on a side street between the bar and a house right next to it, and she sees a girl in a window, and then she sees to the right of her a huge man rising up, coming to the car. He's dressed in camouflage, and he's
huge.
Leans in and then jumps in the back seat, sits on the edge and leans over and starts talking to her. And she's watching him very carefully in the mirror. And she recognizes him as the same guy that was at the motel a little while before. And she now knows him to be, she recognizes him from the media as Rex Heuermann. He says to her that he wants her to take him on a long trip into the woods. In other words, he changed the destination she had been told, which caused her immediately to become suspicious. And he was very upset, very angry. And he began to dispute with her when she said, I'm not going on a long trip anywhere. And
he did.
With that, he gets extremely angry and threatens to kill her.
He did. And
tells her, I already want to kill you. Just give me a reason. And he had a gun, a handgun.
Maury said, lie detector test came back.
She says, I'm not going anywhere at this point.
That was a lie.
And she turns off the car and she says, you can have the keys, you can have my money, whatever you want. Just let me go. I'll let you have whatever you want. With that, her dispatcher is on the radio, and he says out loud, we know, we see you, we hear you, we can tell who you are. And the man panics, gets out of the car. She's then able to drive away. She encounters a police car coming the other way. She believes that the police officer was called by a 911 caller on that issue. Could have been the girl who was in the house right next door from where she was.
I mean, he's just going over the affidavit.
Comes the police, driving slowly with his lights off. She tells him the story, and the man had on a lanyard with a placard of some kind, as if he were a police officer. And she asked him, are you a cop? And he said, yes. She said, from where? He said, Brooklyn. With those facts in mind, she tells the police officer who's driving, there's one of yours back there, and it looks like he's had a bad day. So you better go see what's what. Words to that effect. She later on hears from her dispatcher that this man, went into the woods and fired off his pistol twice. And she recognizes him very clearly to be Rex Heuermann when she sees him. So she's given us this affidavit as well. There's a pattern that's developing here of Rex Heuermann being somebody who tracks down people and haunts them. And Shannon Gilbert would therefore be no exception. Now, the third witness has not given a statement yet. The third witness contacted me from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. That witness
hold the fuck up. What?
Clearly recalls being picked up. She was a street walker. She gets picked up by Rex Heuermann.
It's tough.
In Queens.
It's a clusterfuck.
And he drives, I think, near the big center there in Queens. And he drives her into a park in Flushing, where he makes her keep her head down at all times, commit oral sex.
Whoa.
And then he has a pistol in his hand and tells her, get out of the car or I'm going to kill you. And don't do anything except what I tell you to do or I'm going to kill you. So she gets out of the car and he tells her, before she does, he tells her, I want you to pick up another person, another customer. She gets out of the car and immediately pulls up another SUV and a man driving it, an African-American man. And the guy that picks her up is white. And she gets in the other guy's car. And the driver, Rex Heuermann, follows the car. They go. Finally get out of the car because she panics and pulls the wheel because she sees a cop car coming. So the cop sees them go jaggedy off the road and the cop stops them.
Help.
Cop then goes
Probably
back,
like what she was
talks
doing.
to Rex and the other driver who gets out and walks back. Cop comes back and tells her, lady, if you want to make a complaint, you have to go to the precinct, and drives away. That's her story.
Hey,
She also has no reason. She refuses to come forward. She refuses to have herself identified.
man,
I know her name. I know her address. I've given it to the police. They're aware of it. And presumably they're investigating
good
it.
question.
You see the pattern. There's a pattern of a guy who likes to play kind of sporting games with the sex workers, chases them, haunts them, hunts them. That's what we're
That was
looking
his
at
thing,
here,
though.
we believe, anyway.
That was his thing.
The fourth witness, and I'll finish on that, she comes from another state, and she's contacted me as
Right?
well. I have very lengthy notes and recordings of what we discussed. She was a sex worker for many years, back in the time when all of these killings were occurring, and she serviced Rex Heuermann. She said that she would service Rex Heuermann over 20 times,
No.
and that he was a serial user of sex workers. He would sometimes have them come two at a time to his house, and his wife was home upstairs, and in one instance got very angry at one of the sex workers because the wife believed that the worker had stolen an iron from, for ironing clothes,
So she knew,
and
though. The wife
had
to
it in the
know.
car with the driver. So the
Clearly.
driver had to get out. Everybody had to search the car. There was no iron. But the wife knew about it and knew about, obviously, what was going on in order for that to happen. So she says that in her experience with Heuermann, he was never impolite. He was always nice. He was always funny. He treated her well, and there was no violence. But he certainly had contact with Rex constantly for a period of several years.
Interesting.
That's as much as I'm able to tell you. There's plenty of other new evidence, which I think it will take too long at this press conference to discuss. There's plenty of new other evidence that's similar in kind and
right now.
consistent with the kinds of things that I've just described to you. So with that thought, I'm hoping that the police department will continue along with the task force, that they will continue to look into these things, investigate them thoroughly, make the synapses that haven't been made so far, connect them up and connect the dots, as it were. And I think we're getting to where we want to go. Lastly,
apparently,
I am still working on this case. Today, I took Joseph Brewer's deposition, the John for Shannon Gilbert. I just finished it and came here. I'm still actively pursuing this case on my own, as well as cooperating with the police department and the task force. But for people out there who have information and are afraid to come forward to the police, they can talk to me. They can reveal whatever they want. I will reveal it to no one. I reveal these things with their permission, the things that I told you about. But anybody else that still has information, I'm available. My door is open. My phones are open. I can help you. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome, Rex. Karen Regatta is the first known victim of the serial killer. But the videos, I'm not going to listen to the questions. But I mean, there's a third and a fourth one in there that wasn't in the affidavits. But I mean, this guy clearly hunted down sex workers. That was clearly like a thing. Like, that's clearly a freaking thing. Like 100% a thing. Like, Hey. Wait a second. We heard that. I'm getting something that says that, and I can't confirm this. So I'm just going to say that I cannot confirm this, but that Tristan Morris may have been subpoenaed. I don't know. May have. I don't know. It's interesting. I cannot confirm that, but it is interesting to hear that may be something. But I don't know, something that I can look into and something anybody else can look into. But no, I have none. But if you would like to, nope. It's all my text messages and emails. If you like to, you guys know how. The Cash App and the Venmo is there. The PayPal can go into the chat if you want. Okay, that's fantastic. I'm just telling you what somebody sent me. Yes, a light colored SUV. Yep, exactly. That's what I was just sent. That's what I was just sent. So, hold on. I'm trying to get. No. Need that anymore because I'm over that stupid affidavit. Yeah, light Ford Edge. That's what I just. Yeah, that's what I got. Something about a. Yeah, it's something that's like going off on Facebook right now, but I would say. Yeah, the Ford Edge. It just says. Doesn't say what color. But it wasn't a source. It was just a random person. Yeah, they found it, right? Just a random person. Just a random person. Yeah, I haven't been. Who knows? I don't know. Someone just sent it to me. They hadn't heard of it, so once again, not a source, just a person. Well, I mean, not everybody's going to hear everything. You guys have to, like, you guys are expecting every single person to read or know every single thing, and that's not going to happen, right? Like, that's not going to happen. And also, that's just a person. Like, not every single person is going to know every single tiny thing, and you can't expect them to. I wouldn't expect them to. So, hi, you again? Well, when you want to stop lying, then you can come back and talk. But if you're going to continue to lie, then then don't come here. Bottom line. All right. Well, some people don't know. It is what it is. Like, it is what it is. If you don't know, cool. If you do know, awesome. No harm, no foul. Someone thought it was an interesting tidbit. That's all. Like, Jesus. I think guys need to calm down a little. Like, not every single person is going to know every single thing about every single case. So, someone's trying to just send something saying that's an interesting thing that they hadn't heard. I actually did not hear that. So, I must have missed that one. So, sue the fuck out of me, right? Jesus. Like, I mean, you can't expect every person to know everything about every case. Like, it's that simple. Like, there's a lots of cases where everybody doesn't know everything about. What I was going to say earlier is we were talking about the in different countries the way they do trials and stuff. You remember the case that was in Italy, right? The Italy case where the roommate Meredith, God, what was her last name? Amanda Knox's roommate Meredith. What the hell was her last name? Anyway, Amanda Knox was accused of killing her roommate. And then obviously they knew it was someone else, but she got reamed in Italy because of the way they run their shit show over there. Italy does not do things the way we do. Not at all. It is ridiculous. I mean, it is. It's like literally no need whatsoever. Like none. It's like literally none. No, we can make jokes, but we don't make personal attacks. We don't like, that's not a thing. We don't do that. Like, that's not, you want to do that? You can gladly go somewhere else and do that. But I don't think it's funny. So there's that. Like, but back to Amanda Knox. Does anybody remember the Amanda Knox case? Right? That one is a great showing of what happens in other countries when you don't have a jury. And I mean, they kind of have like an appeal process. It's not really like an appeal process, but I mean, that cop was an absolute shit show that ran that shit show like that. I mean, I'm not saying she did. I'm just saying in general. Yes, it was wild. It was a wild case. Like, first they called her like Foxy Noxy, and there was just all these basic headlines from mainstream media that, like, basically said she did it. She's bad. She's terrible. She's awful. Like, except she didn't. And there's that. Yeah, it was released on an appeal, but like their appeal, what I'm saying is their appeal system is not the same thing as our appeal system. Like, it's, again, they see like judges, and like the judges just, like, in my opinion, decide whether they like your face or not. Like, oh, hey, today I don't like your face and I don't like what this guy said. So you're guilty and you're going to jail for like 30 years. Like, Amanda Knox didn't kill her roommate. Nor was there any, no apologies for that. None whatsoever. Nope. None at all. None at all. None at all. The hat, though. Like, the hat, though, is what got me. Like, okay, we went in a hat, but it didn't match the tie the guy had on. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. He's doing his thing. Like, he was like, this is me, bitches, and I'm gonna wear this hat and this tie. Like, that's happening. Like, OMG. Yes, it's happening, man. It's freaking happening. Like, he was totally being himself. Totally being himself. And good for him, because everybody should be them fucking selves and not have to worry about whether someone likes it or not. You don't like it? Oh, well. Too bad. Nobody should apologize. He didn't apologize for his outfit. You want to wear that? He can wear that. He can wear that. He totally can. Like, I'm going to pull that up for a second. Hold on. Let's see here. I remember the headline too. I want to see if I can pull it up. Oh my God. It doesn't come up back then, but let's see. Yeah, I mean, this poor fucking girl. This is the thing they used. Just remember, I have one screen. I cannot see you right now. Like, these are the, like, this, I think this was her a few years ago when she did that thing. She did like the Dateline or 2020 or some bullshit like that to talk about it. But like, I remember this picture. I remember this one. This is one of the ones they used like to basically say she was, crazy. This one right here, the top left one, is one of the ones they used to like make her look like she was insane. This one right here is one that I remember watching, like in court, like, and she just looked defeated, like plainly defeated, like it might be excessive, but I'm not going to deal with trolls, so I'm going to get rid of them. Bottom line. I already addressed the fact that I'm not going to deal with trolls, so if you want to be a troll, out you go. It's not Mary. I am quick on the finger trigger. Just so we're clear here. And that's me. And you don't need to screenshot them. If you're here to screenshot stuff, then you're not here for the right reason. So there's that. I know you're not trolling Sabrina, because if you were, you wouldn't be here. I know she's not a troll. She's totally fine. I think you guys have to remember, nobody can hear like, context or like your tone in a message. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? I totally know you guys are just kidding. It's fine. You just gotta have like, gotta remember there's no tone. There's no tone when you do it through a message. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's all. You just gotta be mindful of that. Like, hey, that's okay. You can totally do that. I'm technically an old lady too. Well, I mean, I feel old. I'll tell you that much. My body feels old. I have fibromyalgia, so my body feels old every day. So I freaking totally hear you. Having a little fun is okay. Like, just make sure it stays respectful, and it's totally cool. Like, I'm okay with that. You just gotta make sure it's, again, you guys, we can't hear tone in text, and that's, How old do I look? Is that a question? How old am I? How old do I look? Just how old do I look? Because I feel very, very old. I'll give you a hint. I have an 18-year-old going on 19. So, I mean, sometimes I feel 10. My husband makes me feel like a kid. That should be a good thing, right? Like, he keeps me laughing all the time. He's a great guy. Keeps me on my toes. Works very hard. Nope. Not that old. Nope. Nope. Too old. Nope. In my 30s. Late 30s. Be 37 this month. So close, but no cigar. Guys can save that for my 40th birthday. Then you guys can... Actually, technically, I'm 21 forever. I just tell my kids I turn 21 every year. Especially my little one. Mommy, how old are you? I'm 21 forever. That's okay. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. I asked you to guess. It's fine. Well, right on the nose. I'll be 37 at the end of the month. At the end of the month. No. They know I'm kidding. They know I'm kidding. My 5-1's almost, she's almost 6. She knows I'm kidding. I make a joke out of it. All right, yeah, let's move on. You do win. You totally win. But yeah, I'll be 37 at the end of the month. The very friggin' end of the month. And then all my kids' birthdays are between the end of the month and the beginning of next month. So that's fun too. See? Right? No, my kids don't believe me. They know. They know. They definitely know. They know. They definitely know. I literally say all the time when I get up, I'm like, ugh, I'm old. And so my 5-year-old's like, Mommy, you're old. And I'm like, why? Because I tell her I'm old. She's like, Mommy, you're old. Kids say the darndest things, though. No, my 18-year-old jokes with me all the time. I am. They sure do. We sure do. Oh man. No, I plan on caring. No, you're not timeout. You're not timed out, Augustus. I can see you. Yeah. Well, I will always cover the Karen Reed case. Period. End of story. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's nothing good in there right now. I mean, there's no new anything. I mean, we can talk about it if you guys want, but there's nothing new. Like, I know there's something coming, but there isn't anything right this minute that I have that I can give you. Like, Augustus's comment is right there. I can see it. I can see it. It's right there. Did I get timed out? It's right here. I can see it just fine. Not timed out. The comments are there, dude. I can see them. They're all right here on my screen. I don't know. I can see them, so I don't know. I can see all of them, so. You guys have to remember, they go up, too. Like, they go up. Yoga instructor? I mean, yoga. I mean, to be able to do that position, you let me know how you got it done, girl. Like, how did you get it done is what I would like to know. That might have, yeah, I don't know what that means. I have no idea what the hell that means. No idea. No clue whatsoever. All right, let's go back to this because I want to talk about this. So, yeah, here it is right here. The acquittal and the release. It's actually acquittal, I guess. Oh, it's in fucking French, of course it is. God damn it. Oh, I want the English version of it. Yeah, she's close to my age. She's born in like 87, right? 87. Wrongful conviction for the 2007 murder of Meredith Kircher. That's her name, Meredith Kircher. A fellow exchange student who they shared an apartment in Peru. 2015, definitively acquitted by the Italian Supreme Court. She was 20 at the time. And she's the one who called the police, right? Like, I know, oh, this guy is definitely the guy I think, Rudy, I don't know how the hell you say his last name. Good day, I think it is. Rudy Good day. This is the guy. I did not teach yoga at the prison I worked at. No, I did the job of a CO. I think I, worked in the trap. Worked with the inmates, opened doors, did groups. You're not going to be put in timeout. You're fine. Because I have to remember, though, I can't see when I'm reading stuff here. So I only have one screen, not two. When I was on vacation, it was nice. I had two screens. That was great. So, yeah, she got a 26-year sentence for that. And, of course, it says it caused international controversy. A U.S. forensics expert, Jesus Christ, thought evidence at the crime scene was incompatible with her involvement. A prolonged legal process, including a successful prosecution appeal against her acquittal at a second-level trial, continued after Knox was freed in 2011. In 2015, Italy's highest court definitively exonerated Knox and Solecchio, I think his last name was. However, Knox's conviction for committing defamation against women was upheld. Oh, that's the guy she worked for. Knox was acquitted of defamation for saying she had been struck by police women during the interrogation. Well, how do we know she wasn't? Who the fuck told it? I heard she was like basically tortured in prison. Like that, I mean, like tortured. Like they told her, and they told her she had AIDS. You guys remember that? A good day. Yeah, good day. Good day. Like, good day. But I mean, that sucks. Like, they told her she had AIDS, dude, and then they made her write down like the people she had slept with, and like, yeah, there was some twisted, fucked up shit going on over there. And she was only 20. Like, how do you react when your, roommate's just murdered and you come home and you have no idea and they blame it on you? Like, you're 20 years old. Like, you don't know shit about life at 20 years old. I didn't know shit about life at 20 years old. Did any of you know shit about life at 20 years old? I mean, I knew a little, but definitely not, but obviously we fucking all know now. Like, but what the hell? Like, what the hell? No, it's not. Absolutely not. Well, I'd run out the door and pretend I said that probably wouldn't work out too well, because then they'd say you were like running from something. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you do have to have a clean record to work at a prison. As a matter of fact, you have to pass 2 background checks, which I passed, one for the state and one for the DOC. So, nope. My record was not doctored. I had a record when I was an addict. So there is a record, but I was never found guilty of anything. And my record was sealed about 8 years ago. Yeah, no, they did. They made her write down all the people she slept with, and they said she had. Yeah, they told her that, and they made her write down everyone she slept with. I kid you not, that actually happened. Like, absolutely 100%. Like, we're talking about the Amanda Knox case. You don't remember the Amanda Knox case where they told her that she. Oh, my raffle was okay. My raffle was trashy. Well, you don't have to do it if you don't want to. So there's that. You can call whatever you want. You can also not watch my channel. There's that too. You can also go fuck yourself and decide order to fuck off. You want to do that too? But yes, you can pay attention to the show, Silly Girl. I mean, yeah, that was Italy. They're not going to do that here. They're definitely not. I mean, to be fair, not supposed to do that here, but they do a lot of shit they're not supposed to here. That's for sure. Like, yeah. So, I mean, they were fucking railroaded. Bottom line is what happened. Like, they tell you how many years she spent in prison and all the shit she went through. Basically, I think like there was a really good. Can't remember if it was a 2020 or like a yeah. What? Who does this? Ongoing lists. What ongoing lists? That's a crazy talk. That is crazy talk. Absolute crazy talk. It is. It is. It is. 100% it is. Really is. Sad, but true. Like, I don't think commenters are getting railroaded. I think if you want to be a troll, you can go be a troll somewhere else. So that's what you came here for. You came here for the wrong reason. This isn't a joke. I don't find it funny when people attack my sick kid. I'm not saying you are, Kelly. I'm saying these people who are being removed are trolling here. That's what they're doing. And I don't take kindly. Well, they're going to disappear. If it's a troll, it's going to go. And it's going to disappear. That's how it works. Yeah, no, they had to do them anyone. Nope. They had to do them, like, literally. All of them. So, yeah, even the ones you want to forget, Katie, and you're embarrassed about. Unfortunately. 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 It would be a hard pass for me too. Like contortionist shit. Well, I mean, whatever, to each his own. That's cool. That's fine. Like that's cool. That's fine. It's good. But anyway, this case reminds me of just like when we were talking about like, stuff from overseas. Like this is what I mean. Like this is the shit that people mean when they say like they'd rather be in the justice system here. Like, so for instance, the guy that killed Natalie Holloway, that we all know killed Natalie Holloway. Obviously, it's a, fucking toss. No, there aren't any Chrissy, I just need to call you. No, I haven't talked to you today, but just need to call you. Yeah, you should tell people that. It's a great thing to say is leave kids out. It's an amazing thing to say. It's a good comment. It's a very good comment. It's amazing. But well, there was, and it is messed up. So there's that. Anyway, the shit. Hold on, let me get this down. Yeah, the guy who killed Natalie Holloway. He's like loving it in our American prison. He doesn't want to go back to where they had him before in Peru, where he killed that other girl. Like after they left a casino, he like bashed her head in. Like, like period. It wasn't on here. That's why. Apparently, people's kids aren't off limits. It's disgusting behavior. Really, it is. I want to get this up, though. If I'm going to talk about this, I want it up on the screen. He doesn't. He's a scary mother. Like that, dude, he scammed Natalie Holloway's mother. Like, the fuck? Natalie Holloway's mother didn't, like, all she wants to know is where's her child's body? Where? In Aruba? Where? Like, where? Where? Like, where? Like, and then he told her he would tell her where if she sent, like, I think it was like $20,000 or something. The lawyer set it up and sent, like, some of it, which is why he's back here, because that's what he's, like, being charged with. And there's just been all sorts of shit since they brought him back here from Peru. And now he's literally trying to stay in the United States. Like, apparently our, thing is better. Like, our system here or our cells must be better. Although I do think in Peru, they're allowed like to wander about, and pretty sure they're allowed to like smoke and stuff like that. And so, I mean, it is what it is. Like, that it is. Like the prison he was in is a little rough. Like, it's a little rough. Like, but again, it's a different country. They're allowed to like do all sorts of shit you're not allowed to do here. Like, some of the countries literally have just like it's like an open area. Like the whole like it's just the doors and the barbed wire, and then it's an open area, and it goes into like little wards of bunk beds or just beds with like concrete barriers on them, and they're allowed to just wander around the entire place. And some of them, like, the inmates actually run these places, like in different countries. They're like, one guy's mob triad or something, and he's over in the corner, and he's got like a big screen TV and like wearing all brand new clothes, and he's in prison. Like, this happens in a prison, like in other countries. Like, it's insane. Like, absolutely just like, no. No. You go, girl. I only have 3, but they're all girls. But good for you. Jesus, Kelly, that's a lot. That's okay, though. That's okay. That's okay. I don't think I can handle 6. 3's good. 6 too many for me. For me. But I have a friend who, like, she has 4, and like I think she wants more. Like, she loves kids. Like, she's just like, whoop, I'm just gonna have this giant. And I'm like, girl, you nuts. I got 3 and I'm good. Like, I am good with that. Just 6 kids, holy shit. Hey, listen, I know there are some people who want to have like a whole, football team. What do you mean? For realsies. Like, I think 3 or 2 was like the standard of what people have now. But you guys remember back in the day? I think she was like 1 of 9. 1 of 9. Like, that's a lot. Like, Can you imagine having 9? No. No, thank you. Nope. Nope. Yes, you do, girl. Yes, you do. And a grandbaby. The cutest grandbaby ever. Yeah, me too. Well, to be fair, just the last one, because I had hypermesis. Does anybody else have hypermesis before? Gravidarum? Anybody have that? I had that. It was terrible. And God, like if you didn't puke multiple, like I had to go to the hospital twice for hydration. It was awful. Awful. What tweets? I haven't been on Twitter today. I have one and I can barely deal. But Chrissy's got the cutest grandbaby in the whole wide world. What tweets though? Did I miss a tweet today? Just turned 7. Well, so what? You got a 7-year-old, so what? I'm 30, gonna be 37, and I have an almost 6-year-old. She'll be 6 this month. So what? People have kids at all ages. All ages. I haven't seen those, Jackie. Not seen those. I haven't been on Twitter today. I really slack with Twitter. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I slack with Twitter because I have so many other things that are like, gonna, I literally slack. Yes, but the little one's the cutest. Like, she loves you so much. Like, she goes to you immediately. She wants your love. I don't know. I haven't seen them at all. 22, 20, and 3 and 1. Yeah, you do. Yeah, it's severe. It's excessive morning sickness. So I had it when I worked when I was working at the prison, and I remember one time I'm sitting in the parking lot getting ready to go into my shift, and I puked everywhere, all over my scrubs, dude. Like, I had to call and be like, dude, I just puked all over my scrubs. Is there an extra pair of scrubs in there? And I go inside and have like inside the door because I couldn't go all the way in with it. I'm not going to go all the way. And I got to go through security. I'm not doing that. I had to go inside the door and someone brought me out. So I'm going to go out to my car, change out. It was a shit show, dude. A shit show. Shit show. Like, I hate calling it X. It's goddamn Twitter. It's not friggin' X. Like, I mean, yeah. twistedtragedies3@gmail.com. I have not seen that yet. Yes, of course they did. What do you mean? They can't not let you work in a prison when you're pregnant. They can't tell you you can't. I mean, I was already working there when I got pregnant. They can't say you can't work there. Aw. See, one day I will have grandbabies, but just not any day soon, please. Not any day soon, please. I have 3 girls, so it's bound to happen at some point. But no. Oh, man. No, it was with my last. Not my first, my last. Does that make sense? Like, I had no other, like, I've had morning sickness. It usually goes away about 9 or 12 weeks-ish. Like 9 or 12 weeks-ish. But it did not this time. It did not go away until the day I gave birth. And I puked like 2, 3, sometimes 4 times a day. Like, everything made me nauseous, smells, like everything made me sick. It was terrible. They gave me, what was it? Some pill. I think it started with like a Z. I can't remember the name of it. I think it was a Z though, or an X. Z or an X. It was something. It was like a morning sickness pill thing. And it worked for like 3 weeks and then never worked again. Like, I was like, oh, gee, thanks, guys, for that. Because you can't take anything else when you're pregnant. You literally can't take anything. Literally nothing. Like, so I couldn't, like, that was all I had. And it did not freaking work. Not one bit. Like, yeah. What do you mean? They can't not let you. Zofran, that's it. That's it. Zofran. That's it. Zofran. That's absolutely it. Yes, Zofran. That's it. See, everybody's sending it to me now. Zofran. It's called Zofran. Yes, that's it. Zofran. I just literally. And it worked for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and then that was like literally it. Like, yeah, they let me. I was working in the unit and everything. They told me I actually did ask for light duty, like in the admin building, and they only gave that to me when I hurt my foot when I was working, and I had to have a boot on my leg while pregnant, mind you, for 8 weeks, I think it was, and that's the only time they let me do light duty in the administration building and not in the actual unit, because get ready for it, my boot that was on my foot was more dangerous than me being pregnant. They were more worried about the prisoners like taking my boot and using my boot, or like somehow, like they were more worried about the boot than me getting assaulted by crazy people, because it's for the criminally insane. Remember, it's for the adult male criminally insane. And that's what I worked with, the adult male criminally insane. So they cared more about that than the boot than me being pregnant. I have no idea where you have been, not paying attention, apparently. Bridgewater, we've been over this. I think you're just sleepy. Yeah, no, it was just my third. It was just my last one. That's it. Well, this was, I mean, 7 years. So she's going to be 6, so like almost 7 years ago. So, yeah. She was 30 pounds pregnancy, had to go on IV. It's when your body rejected HCC. I mean, thankfully, it only worked for like 3 weeks. So I didn't have to take the Zofran again, because it just stopped working randomly. But yeah, it sucked. Hypermesis, gravidarum. I don't wish on my worst enemy. You know what my sister had was that itching that you can't, like, you can scratch, but it's like inside. And also my friend Autumn had that same thing. You itch, and like no matter what, like it doesn't go away until you give birth. I forget what the hell it's called, but both of them had it, dude. And I talked to both of them, like, OMG. I felt so, like, I'd be on the phone with them, and just I can't scratch. Like, you can just keep scratching and scratching and scratching, and it literally goes away like that when you give birth, but not until you have that baby. Like, I also had placenta previa with my last one, and I was gonna have a C-section, and I was petrified. Not gonna lie, 100% petrified. Us women go through a lot when it comes to childbirth. I don't think the men realize. I love you all, men, but it's a painful process, dude. Like, to be fair, I didn't have to have a C-section. The placenta moved out of the way. But yeah, it was on like, like they didn't let me do much while I had placenta previa. But I didn't even know what that was when they told me. I was like, what? Yes, that's it. Choleostasis. Cholestasis. Is that it? That's it. That's what it is. That's what it's called. That's it. That's literally it. And yeah, both of them had it. Was choleostasis. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what it is. And that's what they had. It was awful. When I was pregnant, I had a baby. You think? When I was pregnant, I just had a couple babies. It was hell. Like, at least me being on the phone with my poor sister and my poor friend, like, because we were pregnant at separate times, like, that was terrible. I felt so bad, dude. I was like, you can't just like get it like and they're like, no, like, you can itch it and 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 no relief whatsoever. And I'm like, just constantly, like, it's just constant. Like, I know the puking was bad constantly, but like, at least that would stop for like an hour or 3 hours, or, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like, I don't know. I couldn't do that. That would drive me absolutely bonkers. Like, it would drive you guys bonkers. It would drive me bonkers. 100%. All right, let me see. Let me look. Hold on. Oh. Yeah, nobody can verify this though. Yeah. They both had it until they gave birth. Like, birth. Yeah, no, I don't. I'm done. Dunsies. My littlest one said, "Mommy, I wanna." I think she said a little sister or something, and I'm like, "You have sisters? No, I want a baby." No, kid. This baby factory is closed. no go on that one. Like, that is a no. No. Well, I don't know. I'm going to have to look into it. I don't want to just, can't just assume either. Gotta look. Yeah, oh, that's terrible. I mean, I hope they didn't do that. My sister can deal with it. She doesn't do like pain and stuff well, but I'm pretty sure most people can deal with it. Nerve damage. Oh, that's not, I couldn't. Nope. No, thank you. No, ma'am. Nope. Try again. No, thank you. I don't want it. I do not want it. I do not want it. No, thank you. Dunzo. I do not want to. I do not want to. At all. Just like, my oldest one is an adult, so she does not. Oh yeah, screw that. Twins, no thanks. I know you're so lucky, right? So lucky. Oh, for the love of God, dude. We're gonna do this again. We're gonna do this again. Listen, if people feel the need to tell other people what they can and can't do, like, my kids' clothes don't smell. This is my private area here. This is my private area. This belongs to me. Okay? No one comes in here unless it's my husband. I go out there most of the time, or she'll come and say goodbye. And I only smoke in here at night when I'm here with you because I can't leave. So, yeah, my kids' clothes don't smell. My kids' clothes are not in here. Obey the Kyle. Obey the Kyle. I need to look at them first, Jackie. I gotta look at them. I gotta, do some verifications and all that shit, dude. Can't always just believe everything you see or hear. You gotta try to verify it, dude. Unfortunately, right? Don't. My personal area. It's my space. It's my bubble. It's my timeout time. My cricket's in here. I do my thing. This is my thing. My thing. You didn't see that comment up there? Why can I see it then? If it was timed out, I shouldn't be able to see it. But I can see it. So how is it gone? I don't know. I can see it. So, but see, here's the thing. It's my house, right? This is my area, my space, my personal space. So no one has a right to tell me what I'm going to do in my own personal space that belongs to me. I don't tell you people when to masturbate, right? Fuck, dude. If that's the need that people feel to pick on, it's sad. That's sad. That's sad. I don't tell you people what to do or where to go. Nobody else should be telling anybody else what they can or can't or what they should or shouldn't do. Just not an option. I mean, you can call it a wild comparison all you want, but I'm just saying I don't tell anybody else what to do. Nobody should be telling me what to do. It's bottom line. You don't like it, you don't have to like it. You don't have to watch. You can go there, and that's a different thing. See, there's no kids here. See, that's the problem, right? There's no kids here. You can't say smoking in front of kids when there's no kids here, right? That's just assuming, right? I don't fucking like assumptions. Let's not assume shit. There's no kids. Do you hear kids here? Do you see kids? No, you don't, because the kids aren't here. I don't smoke with my kids in the room. I would never do that. So I am stuck here. I can't go outside. I'm with you guys. Okay. No, that's not asking though. That's not asking though. Like, I'm tired of hearing that. Like, no, I don't smoke with my kids in the room. Why the fuck would I? No, I don't. Smoke in my own personal space at night when I'm here with you and I cannot go out to my porch, which I have every right to do in the house that I pay rent for, that my husband pays rent for. Who? I don't know who Alex? I don't know who that is. No idea. No idea. They didn't. They shouldn't, but they do. Sad. Well, it'll keep being comment whack-a-mole if that's what it's got to be. Hey, that's okay. You could do that. Did you get a little cold, though? A little cold with that? No? No? Cold? I'd be cold. The window's down. I mean, unless you live in Florida. And then it probably wouldn't matter. But if you don't live in Florida, I don't do that. I wouldn't want to do that. It doesn't sound like fun. In the cold, at least. Maybe in the not cold. I just choked on my own spit because that was funny. You got me there, dude. It was funny. Just saying. Let me hold on. So I have kids. Yeah. I hear that. I hear that. Let me ask you, women, did any of you guys have your tubes tied after you had your kids? Or no? Like, were you like done and you were like, okay, like I'm just gonna be done and like that's it? Or like, you know. There's a difference between being timed out and being blocked. A very big difference. Proctor. Could be. You never know. You never know. You literally never know. Like, unfortunately. You're not done? I'm done. I'm done. My last one when I was 31. I'm done. I'm done. I mean, you don't have to answer it. I'm just wondering because I did ask them to tie my tubes and they told me. I mean, it might be a personal question, but you don't have to answer it. You don't have to answer it. I'm asking because I asked them to tie my tubes, actually. Actually, twice. After I had my second one, they told me I was too young and I didn't have a boy and a girl. And then I asked them before I had my third, and they told me that I would have to come back in 6 weeks instead of them doing it there at birth, which makes no sense to me whatsoever. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Wouldn't like it wouldn't make sense. Like, also, if you're married, hey, did you know this is a fun fact? If you're married, you have to get permission from your husband to have your tubes tied. Now that makes no goddamn sense. But yes, that's the thing. If you're married, you have to have hubby permission to get your tubes tied. Oh, man. Is what it is. Yeah, you do. Yep. At least here in Mass. You got to have permission. Yep, you do. He has to sign a paper. Like, what? I'm sorry. Whose uterus is it? Not him. Yeah, now they used to do it like, right when you gave birth. And then now apparently no. No, apparently not. Like, apparently not. Oh, you're okay, you're in Rhode Island, yeah. It's Massachusetts. At least I don't know if other states do, but in here in Massachusetts, you have to. So yeah. Mm-mm-mm. You're lucky though, the Rhode Island. Rhode Island's a little cheaper to live in than Mass, you know that. It stinks though. We shouldn't have to ask anyone's permission. It's your fucking uterus. Like, what does that doesn't even make any sense. All right, so it's 2 hours and 35 minutes and I'm getting tired. So, and I love you all to pieces, but Mama's not getting lots of sleep lately because I'm up friggin' doing work and I'm tired. I fell asleep at like 7:30 last night. That's how tired I was. Couldn't even keep my eyes open. Right? They don't. They don't. I don't think they do for a vasectomy. I mean, maybe they do. I don't know. I'm not sure. But in Massachusetts, you can't have your tube side if you're married without your husband's permission. So maybe it's the same with a vasectomy. I'm not really sure. So that'd be a good thing to find out, though. I don't know. Yeah. Well, how do you mean not the part you live in? Well, I mean, it's probably not as cheap anymore. Rhode Island used to be not a little, but a much cheaper than Massachusetts. You know, much cheaper. But you didn't? Do you live in Massachusetts? Because in Massachusetts, they if you're married, they want your husband's permission now. It's a fun thing, right? That's true. They do. They do. They really, really do. They do. They need a wife's permission. You won't be denied. I don't know, they made this huge stink about it with my friend and her husband. Her husband didn't want to sign it. They said they wouldn't do it. Like this huge whole thing. And I'm like, are you friggin' serious? Is this a thing? Like that's a thing. Like it was a whole huge thing. And I'm like, I didn't know that you had to do that. Like, I mean, I guess if he doesn't agree, like it's a big, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I don't want to post them until I can check them out for myself because I haven't had time to actually like look at all of them. We could probably check like for like tomorrow, but I gotta look at them. I have to check them out. What do you mean? Why do I work so much? Is that a real question? Is that a real question? It's a real question. To get stuff done. What do you mean? What do you mean? Like, yeah, I want to look at the text first, but I haven't looked at them yet. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't just throw anything up there whether I don't know where it came from. I don't know what it says. Like, I don't have time to read it right now. Well, I'm gonna have to wait till I get off, and then I'll read them, and then see about tomorrow. I haven't been able to like read them, look at them. I want to be able to do all that first. No, I'm not going to show unconfirmed stuff that I haven't had a chance to check out correctly. I guess so. I'm too nosy for that. Listen, everyone's nosy about everything, of course, but I don't want to put something up that isn't true. I want to make sure that I vet it correctly before I do that. I don't appreciate things that aren't true being thrown around, so I wouldn't appreciate it if someone did that to me either. So I'm not going to do that until I can check it out and see what the hell's going on with it. because I haven't seen it. I don't have time to look at all right now, obviously, because I'm here with you guys. But I will check it out right after I get off here. But no, but it's you guys, you don't just get something from someone and then you just post it. It's not how it works. Like, not in my world. You actually have to, like, I don't know, vet the stuff, make sure that it's verifiable, or you don't just, yeah, no, you don't just post stuff that you don't know. Like, yeah, me too. Me too. I mean, yeah, because you don't just post shit when you don't know where it came from. It's like, you don't do that. Like, you don't do that. It's not a thing. It's not a thing. She does seem very, very cool. Very, very cool. No, it's something I need to confirm. You can't, no, it's not something you can just, no. You know. If it was something I could just pop up, I would just pop it up. But I can't just pop something up that may not be true and then someone gets hate for it. Like, that's not okay either. I'm not going to do that. There's ways to try to verify it. What do you mean? If I can't verify it, it's not going up. It's that simple. You try to verify it. Yeah, X. I hate calling it X. It's not X. It's goddamn Twitter. And change goddamn name to X. Twitter, not X. Twitter. God damn it. It drives me nuts that it's called X. Is anyone else to try, anyone? Like, does that drive anybody else insane that it's called X now and not Twitter? Like, it's always been Twitter. Why? Like, I absolutely will look into it. 100%. I will. But I won't post something that's going to hurt someone or harm someone or bash someone or hate someone that I can't verify and I don't know where it came from. Like, I'm not going to do that, and I would never do that. I just said there are ways to confirm it, Kelly, or to try to confirm it, I should say. There aren't, sometimes you can't. Sometimes you just can't, and then you don't post it. It's that simple. Like, sometimes you do, sometimes you can, and sometimes you can't. It's, you try. You try to vet it properly. If you cannot do it, then you can't. Like, I don't want to, like, I wouldn't put something out there that would hurt someone or harm someone or send hate to someone that I can't verify. And yes, no, you can't always. I have a boatload of things. Like, you guys have no idea. Like, the amount of things I would love to share with you guys, and I'm being totally serious. The amount of things that I would love to, like, just share with you, like, is a lot. But if I can't, like, verify it, then I don't want to put it out there, because then I don't know where it came from, if it's true, if it's not true, like, and you just don't want to stick shit out there for no reason. Like, it's not responsible, dude. It's not. You could send someone a whole lot of heartache for no other reason other than you weren't careful and you weren't responsible, and I will not be the person to do that. Like, you guys, I don't know, I mean, some of you guys clearly haven't been here before, but we talked about this. Like, my father committed suicide. Like, I will not be a person that would push someone over a mental edge for something that I can't confirm. Like, if it's confirmable, cool. If it's not, then I'm not doing it. Like, it's that simple. I just don't, like, I don't, and that's another thing. You don't want it out of context either. Like, if it's out of context, that's not cool either. I don't want to do that. Like, that would be shitty, right? Like, if anything was posted about someone that wasn't true, like, or it was taken out of context in some way, like, that would not be okay, because anything can be taken out of context. As we know, folks, literally anything. Literally any fucking thing. And you can get hate for anything, and that shouldn't happen. You should vet it properly and make sure. It's just my take on it. I will absolutely take a look at it, Jackie. I promise. I just haven't had a chance to look at it. And if you're still reading it, that means I'm going to be reading for a little while. So I will have, a minute to be able to do that when I get off here. So I will. I absolutely 100% will. All right. I don't know. Hmm. I guess. Yeah, it's because you can't see the chat. It's because you can't see the chat. Well, that's why no one should ever jump to conclusions about anything, now isn't it? Just saying. Like, yeah, no, you can't. No, you can't. But also, here's the thing. I refuse to give anything or say anything that's going to hurt other people who don't deserve to be hurt or who have already been hurt and don't deserve it again. So I will not do it at all. It's not something anyone should do. It's not responsible. It's just not. All right. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's going to, yeah. I need that time to understand too. I always forget that sometimes people are, I know. I'm sorry. Yes, I will read the comments when I'm responding. I'm sorry. Sometimes I forget. Who knows? I mean, it could be. Could be Kate Peter. She said it's Kate Peter. And don't be stupid. I could be. Could be that too, Katie. She said those texts may have something to do with why Karen stopped talking to Nat. Troublemaking, you will see when you read it. It could be. We don't know. We don't know. I'm covering everything that has to do with Karen Reed. So that would be a yes. I will be. Yeah. I mean, I don't know that it is, but it could be. Oh. I don't think anybody's allowing the O'Keefes to be harassed, though. Like, I don't know that they're being harassed. Are they being harassed? Is there something I don't know? Like, they're right here. I said, I am reading the comments. Just talking shit about allowing O'Keefe's to be harassed with a live attached. Big deal. Well, I don't know that they are being harassed. I've never heard of the O'Keefe's being harassed. If that's something that's happening, it's news to me. What do you mean, but how? Because I'm a member of the public and I'm covering a story and I can be there. That's how. Like, it's called, again, yeah, free will. And also, I'm a member of the public and go anywhere I want. I don't need somebody's permission. I'm covering a story. It's part of the story. Doesn't really matter if you did or didn't. You can call it rude all you want. Do you think anybody wants people at their shit? Like, I mean, I guess some people do, but some people most certainly don't. And guess what? It still gets covered. It's a story. You can call it whatever you want. I think it's disrespectful to bring people's sick kids into it, but I know, beat the fuck out of me, huh? Like, it's kind of rude myself. I think that's rude. I don't It has nothing. Okay, so now you guys are getting off track and getting a little ridiculous. I don't care. That's the thing. Why is this like a competition that what someone has to listen to mine over? Like that's not it's not a competition. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who listens to who's over where. I don't care. Like it's irrelevant. Like what do you mean, dude? Maybe he doesn't, maybe he doesn't. I have no idea. I wouldn't know who his sources are. Nor would he know who mine are. So how would I know the answer to if he has more sources than I do? No, I have no idea. Like, it's a good point. You can't tell people where to go about the same time talking about free speech. Yeah, it's not a thing. It's definitely not a thing. Yes, that is 100% true. What Chrissy's saying is true. The O'Keefe's got booed at court. Aiden shut it down. These rules run with it. But that's the thing, is they weren't. There was somebody in front of them that was being booed, and then when the O'Keefe walked by, Aiden shut it down. That is 100% true. And they just have a video of it, and they just don't. They cut it off at a different angle, and they stop it before he says don't, and it just they go with it. But it is what it is. It is a safe space. It's always a safe space. It'll always be a safe space. You can go look for yourself. I have sources in all sorts of cases. What do you mean? Kind of a dumb question, isn't it? I'm pretty sure I was the first person to have information that I released on Natalie, or to release it. Where do you think I got that? From my non-existent sources? All right, well, there's nothing. Yes, Carl was being booed. Thank you. Carl was being booed. That's who it was. That's who it was. Carl was being booed. That's what it was. That's absolutely what it was. Carl was being booed. No, you do not. You don't even have to like each other. You guys can ask a million questions. I'm not telling anybody who my sources are, and you should know that by now. Nobody's getting my sources. I'm not telling you who they are, who they aren't. Like, come on, you should know better. Seriously. Like, I'm responding to everybody who keeps asking me who my sources are. So there's that. And I'm not answering any of those questions because that's nobody's business. Carl was being booed. They walked in behind him. The crowd booed. Aiden said, nope, these are his parents, which he did. We're not doing this. Yeah. And I saw that. That's 100% true. That's exactly what happened. Like, I don't need to back it up. It's literally on a live. Like, go look for yourself. Like, that's on you. Because if we're not, like, nothing here is being, like, now we're just getting all sorts of crazy. They sure could go check it out for themselves. Nope, wrong, David. That's false. Oh, people heard it, all right. People heard it. No, I did not find out from Natalie, from Jen Altman at all. Not at all. I don't know the timestamp off the top of my head. You'd have to look for yourself. The text actually of what? Text actually of what? You guys can't read comments too? Like, I mean, I'm not the only person here reading comments, right? You have no idea what comments I'm replying to, but if I'm replying to it and I'm saying what's in it. You don't know what it is. Because I don't appreciate when people start telling me what I can and can't do. And no, Jen Altman did not give me the Natalie story at all. Did not get that from her. So if that's something that you heard, that would be a lie. Oh, he didn't? Okay. See, now that would be wrong. Maybe you need to go back and look. No, she has the text of us talking about it after I did the live and her thanking me for doing it, not before. So that would be false. Is she saying she gave me the Natalie story? Then yeah, she's lying. 100%. Yep, sure is. Since this is no longer productive, I'm going to end this. False? Really? Because I think otherwise, considering the fact that I'm the one that knows now, isn't it? Well, since this is no longer productive. If you guys want to do that, you be my guest. I am annoyed. I'm not going to lie. I'm annoyed. Yeah, I did run off in my sweatpants. I absolutely 100% did. Yep. I got the call and I ran to the courthouse. I sure the fuck did. And I got there maybe 5 or 6 minutes before they brought him out. Yep, sure did. Didn't know that was a crime to go try to help someone. Jeez, it's the fuck out of me, bro. Shit. Like, it is kind of like a Canton Board of Selectmen meeting, isn't it? Oh, man. You're annoyed for me? Yeah, we should be. I mean, everyone should be annoyed for me. Yeah, I know. I was paying attention. I was paying attention. Yeah, except 100 other people called the state police, including myself, after other people knew and called me. So, yeah, bye-bye. Yeah, exactly. No, Jackie, you didn't. They were already in it. Thank you. But once again, we just believe everything we hear. So I'm pretty sure that I also have texts and messages that prove otherwise. No shit. Well, here's the thing, right? When you run out of the house in your sweatpants because you don't have time to like do your hair or your makeup or do anything but get there as fast as you possibly can, that's what you do, right? So, excuse the fuck out of me. Excuse the fuck out of me for not making sure that I took more time to go through my wardrobe. How ridiculous that sounds. Like, stop it. I cannot. All right. This is no longer. I love you guys. I love you guys. But I'm done with the trolls for the night because it's obnoxious. Like, it's utterly obnoxious when people can't get their facts straight and they just listen to other people. Stop listening to other people, dude. Like, it's obnoxious. It's very, 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 very obnoxious. Like, you need to start thinking for yourselves and you need to stop just taking people's word for it. Like, for the love of God. I mean, people do, think for themselves nowadays, right? Like, they do like have their own brains and like, check stuff and like, yeah, because I mean, I do that. So I just assumed that most people did, but maybe not. I don't know. Jeez. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry that it's hard to follow tonight. I am sorry. I seriously do apologize. I'm sorry. It's been a lot of just fuckery, really. A lot of trolls and fuckery. Like, no. 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 See, that's the thing. That was when he was arrested. So how can he ask people not to do that when he's arrested? Right? Right. Because I just went to the last court date with leggings on underneath my jeans so I didn't freeze. I had jeans on. Jeans with leggings underneath so that I didn't freeze my ass off, which, thank you very much, allowed to do. Right. Now all of a sudden I'm a bad person, right? It's so utterly ridiculous. It's not unknown people. They're on the screen. They pop them up. And at Karen's court cases, we've been in attire. Once again, I was wearing jeans in the last one. So, like, if you feel the need to pick on what someone, like, how, like, no offense, but, like, how do you know that people can afford to have, like, nice court clothes? Like, I'm just asking. Like, how do you know that they can even have those? Because I know that my kids get clothes before me. So my wardrobe isn't, like Gucci. Sorry. Like, just saying. Yeah, exactly. Don't make your Sunday best on when I get arrested. Well, I mean, it is utterly ridiculous when that person runs there to help you, right? What, you don't think it's ridiculous to be upset about, and it wasn't PJs, by the way, sweatpants. There's a big difference between sweatpants and pajamas, right? Like, people wear sweatpants outside because it's cold, right? Okay, just making sure. So it is when someone's running out the house to help you. Yeah, it is. You say thank you with a fucking smile. Like, because I don't give a fuck if you were naked. like, I mean, really, I don't give a shit if you're naked, dude. If you're trying to do a good thing and you were actually trying to fucking help, like, I don't care what you're wearing. Why does it matter? Does it really matter? No, it doesn't. Like, and I'm pretty sure that I literally have, I said on that live, like, I'm really sorry, you guys. I'm not, I look like shit, but I ran out of the house. Like, I mean, I'm sorry. I didn't know that was like, no, you don't like, so next time I go to help someone, I'll make sure that I like dress up before I help someone. Like, what? Like, what? Sweatpants are a big thing this year, but also people wear sweatpants all the time. I'm not understanding what's wrong with sweatpants. Like, I'm not understanding. Like, I'm not understanding. Like, I mean, better than Pimp Daddy on the video. Dude, the hat though. The hat is what kills me, is the hat he was wearing. Like, I'm wearing polar bear now. Does that count? Like, you know? Yeah, it is. But again, people don't seem to remember anything. But again, you kind of don't make a big deal about it when someone's trying to help you and trying to just be solid because what they think is happening is wrong, which, by the way, note, I still think it's wrong. Like, me in a fight and we don't have to like each other. That's cool. That's fine. I still think what they did to him was wrong. That's my conviction. That's what I think. That's my personal belief. So, nope. That's not a serious question, though. Nope. I started a give, send, go for the softball tournament. And yep, I sure fucking did. And then somebody urged me to. And then they said, you know what? Here's a better idea. Why don't you try to do a raffle? And I said, oh, that's a fucking great idea. Yeah, see, that's another thing people keep fucking up. There was people behind me. I can't control what people are doing behind me. My phone is only a phone. So it picks up everything. I don't have a mic like everyone else. It's a phone. So everyone to the side of me and behind me who are yelling, there's nothing I can do about it. Like, there's absolutely nothing. Like, 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 well, no, you can't have it both ways. You absolutely cannot have it both ways. You either are happy that people got there, or you're not fucking happy that people got there. You can't be happy people got there and then not be happy because they didn't have the attire you wanted. I mean, what do you want, dude? Yeah, probably all of them. Probably every single one of them. Like, that's the sad part. Like, like, and I don't think anybody has room to talk about anybody else's behavior or anything else. Like, you don't throw stones when you live in a glass house. It's kind of common sense, right? Like, here's the thing. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Literally. Literally. Well, yeah, I don't know what her size would have anything to do with anything. It has nothing to do with anything. Listen, laughing is always welcome here. You know, joking around is always welcome. It's not hateful. And as long as it's not hurtful to other people, go for it. We actually like laughing over here. Usually we have a great time. So I'm disappointed. Like, I'm disappointed that people have to feed into crap and not start questioning why. Because the people who know me in real life know exactly what type of person I am. The type of person who has a big heart, the type of person that likes people in general and likes to help out. Like, that's just who I am. You don't have to like it. You don't have to believe it. But the people in real life who know me know that. It's all that matters to me. So, what did you watch while you were watching her there in your PJs, right? Yeah. Sweatpants and PJs are two totally different things, though. Yeah, I mean, it's not, it doesn't. I love this. I don't remember what the fuck pajamas is what we're arguing about. How about the real case in front of us? Eyes on the ball. Yeah, good point. Yeah. So my PJs. Oh. I mean, here's the thing, guys. Okay. I was banana. Oh, there he is. Oh my God, you guys. Oh my God. Kyle's alive. He made it back to the chat. Mary, did you get the rope? Did you drag him back to the chat? I just want to know. Just want to know. The banana hammock. I know, right? Like, I mean, where'd you go, bud? Like, I mean, I know where you went, but like, what the fuck, bud? I needed a good one-liner. Like, I was waiting for a good one-liner, and I was just, this guy with those good one-liners. Like, did you go and kill Kenny? Don't kill Kenny. God damn it, Kyle. I bet Mary got the rope. She got the rope out and was like, come on, Kyle. Let's do this. Also, for my replayers, anybody who wants to support the channel and support me. Yep, me. Goes to me. That's who it goes to. Been very transparent about that because it takes a lot of hard work to verify information and talk to sources and do all that shit. Yeah. So anybody who wants to donate to my channel and me, you can do so here. Cash App or Venmo at Sky, SKYE 3188 or $Sky, SKYE 3188. You can do that there or PayPal. He knows better. You didn't get the... I am being blazed for every single person's voice there. There's just people behind me yelling and responding to things he was saying, which is like, whatever, cool. Do you, boo-boo. But I can't control what other people are doing. There's nothing I can do about that. Absolutely nothing. Wasn't court approved. I didn't know there was like a court approved because I'm pretty sure there isn't. like, come on now. He's only mad because you told him to be. Well, I mean, that's a very good fucking point, Jackie. Kyle knows. Was there doing what she was. Well, you got him? You got the rope out? You just dragged him back? You were like, Kyle, what the fuck, man? What in the actual fuck? All right, well, it's yeah, it's sad. It's sad. It makes me sad, but I can't think for other people and I can't make them use their brain either. It's frustrating, but you can't make them use their brain. They got to use it themselves. They just have to. And then, you know, just got to hope they figure it out. Like Inspector Gadget, right? It's Inspector Gadget and some shit. But it is 12:57 and I have a reconvene meeting on the phone that I need to do that I had before this live stream that I need to go back to after this live stream. Yep, that's what you did. I knew that's what you did. You got the rope and you dragged it back. Just saying. You can bring that on the potty bus for my birthday. Just make sure you bring the rope. Mrs. Kyle won't mind. She said I could do it. She said I could tie him up and put him in the back of the party bus. She also told me that I could tape cups to his face. I mean, I'm just saying. Like, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But nonetheless, I have a reconvene meeting on the phone and I gotta go. So I love you all to pieces. And I will see you tomorrow. I will check out all this stuff. It's gonna take me a while to check it out, but I will look at it. And I love your stupid faces and I love your stinking faces. And I will see you tomorrow, Monday. And then don't forget, Wednesday, we have a guest for the Sandra Birchmore case. So, all right. I love your stinking faces. Bye.